We would like to invite you to join our family at Bishop's Small Engine Repair.
Outdoor Power has become a family tradition, with 3 generations here bringing you years of experience.
We will help you find the best selection of outdoor power equipment from Co-Cadet, Grasshopper, DeWalt, Makita, Echo, Shindawa, and now Steel in our Georgetown store.
Or bring your equipment into our service department. We will keep it running for years to come.
And as with all families, we have to keep Mama happy. So come on in and see us at Bishop's Small Engine Repair in Richmond and in Georgetown.
You know what they say. Every great season starts with a strong lineup. Neat agility, the Trailblazer cuts through traffic like a wide receiver in the red zone. Power, the Silverado handles work and tailgates like a linebacker on a mission. And if you're ready to go electric, the Equinox EV has the range to go all the way. No matter your game plan, Jack Burford Chevrolet has the vehicle that suits your drive. Stop in, suit up, and let's kick off your next adventure.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome into Winchester, Kentucky for some high school football under the Friday night lights here at George Rogers Clark High School. It is the Madison Central Indians traveling here to Winchester to take on district foe, the Cardinals of GRC. Michael Watkins along with John Clark will welcome you into the broadcast. Glad to have you along on a Friday night as we creep ever so closely to Halloween right around the corner, Coach. And tonight, Madison Central trying to put a scare into some folks in the district after a 6-point loss last week on the road to Frederick Douglass. Feeling like they let one slip away, the Indians back on the road this week against George Rogers Clark, trying to get back in the win column.
Yeah, what a beautiful stadium to be at tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if there's a better stadium in Kentucky, I'm not sure which one it is right now, so it's a privilege to be in this environment. That, I really spent some time this week breaking down last week's game. They played well. They just didn't play the best in the moments they needed to offensively at the end of the game. That last drive wasn't the smoothest drive of the game, but overall I think they played a really good game. If they can continue to build the momentum off of that, they're setting up to win in November, which is that's what you're trying to get to.
To that point, too, I think Frederick Douglass probably feels the same way. They didn't play their best game. They let one. I mean, they had a chance to build a 3-touchdown lead and really put the game away
early.
And instead, they threw a pick six and let the Indians creep back into it and almost let Central pull out a victory last week at home. So for Madison Central, here on the road again, GRC, last year, Indians feeling really good about themselves going into district play. They lose to Douglass, they lose to GRC, and then they go on to lose to Bryan Station to go to 0-3 in district play. Of course, they made up for it in the postseason, winning a few games. But tonight is very important because you win tonight, you come back home next week for senior night against Bryan Station. You have a chance to then host a first-round district game. And, for these seniors, they really, really want to get a victory and to be able to host one of those postseason games. But tonight it's also senior night for the Cardinals, and they're a pretty confident football team themselves. They've had a good season. You look at what they're bringing in here tonight. They don't really have numbers that kind of blow you away. Central probably doesn't either. They've got, Corinthian Barnes has had obviously a great season. But GRC has got a lot of athletes. They've got some guys that can burn you if you don't key on them, and we'll see how the game plays out tonight. It's John Clark, Michael Watkins here on the call for the Madison Central Indians taking on the Cardinals of George Rogers Clark. We'll take a 3-minute commercial break. We'll come back and we'll look at some of those numbers as the Cardinals host the Indians tonight on WEKY and our audio stream on WBON TV.
You've heard the name Chenault Vineyards, but what do you know about it? Chenault Vineyards is a place for the community to enjoy. Central Kentucky's premier event and wedding destination with 5 event venues, full-service catering, over 13 varieties of wine, live music entertainment, seasonal food options, weekly themed Wednesday night out and girls night out, trivia, murder mystery date nights, and free yoga on the point with beautiful views. Everyone can find something to do at Chenault Vineyards. Want to know more? Follow them on Facebook and Instagram or plan your night out at ChenaultVineyards.com.
We all have dreams. For some, it might be playing professional baseball like Keenan Wiley, former Madison Central baseball player, did. For others, maybe it's just dreaming of your forever home. Well, after a career of playing the game that he loved, now Keenan has another dream, helping you find that dream home. Check out the new development at Crutcher Pike Estates here in Richmond. Like Keenan Wiley Real Estate on Facebook, and let Keenan help guide you through the process of finding your dream home in Central Kentucky.
Hi, I'm Gwen from Gwen's Fine Jewelers, and we would love to invite you into our family-owned business.
Select from our beautiful Valina designs, Carriza designs, or we can custom design your dream ring. Gwen's Fine Jewelers is your exclusive Kendra Scott boutique in Richmond. Special financing options available, on-site jewelry repair, and layaway. Find your dream ring at Gwen's. Gwen's Fine Jewelers, where dreams come true.
To some, it's just a boat. But to Jim, it's his escape from meetings, traffic, and the grind of daily life. He may not catch any keepers, but he wouldn't trade his day on the lake for anything in the world. That's why his boat is insured by Kentucky Farm Bureau. But it's not just Kentucky's Farm Bureau. It's Jim's Recharge the Battery Farm Bureau.
My Farm Bureau.
David Mayo, John Rader, and Chris Hornsby with Kentucky Farm Bureau.
Granite, marble, and quartz for any surface. Make a lifetime commitment you won't regret.
Wings or strips?
Wings.
No, strips. Guess you gotta flip a coin.
Famous last words.
Wings and strips.
You just can't lose with the split decision meal. Only at Lee's. Famous for a reason.
Your Lee's Famous Recipe locations are proud supporters of our local Madison County High School sports teams. Have dinner tonight before the game at Lee's Berea, just off I-75 at exit 76, or swing by Lee's Richmond, 1000 Center Drive.
Welcome back in to WBON TV. John Clark, Michael Watkins. So glad to have you along for some high school football action on WEKY and WBON TV audio stream here this evening for you as the Madison Central Indians trying to get back in the win column. 3 losses on the season for this Madison Central football team, but the 3 losses by a combined 9 points. 6-point loss to Douglas last week in that first district game, a 2-point loss to North Laurel, and a 1-point loss on the road to Johnson Central. Central knowing tonight that they've got to come out and start well. I mean, that was one of the things, and I think in all 3 of their losses, Coach, the slow start has been what has kind of come back to bite them. It was, I think, 4th quarter before they put points on the board against North Laurel.
Yeah.
Last week, got off to a slow start as well. And in the Johnson Central game, they also kind of fell behind by a couple of scores. So getting off to a good start has got to be a key tonight for Madison Central. we've seen when they had the opening return kickoff against Connor, blew out Connor. Against Madison Southern, came out immediately, ran the ball well, threw the touchdown on their opening drive there. So when they get off to a good start, like they did against Scott County, like they did against Great Crossing, they're able to just, for other teams, it's like an avalanche. They just see Central get some points, get a stop, get the ball back, get more points, and they have a way of wearing you down very easy. But when they make those mistakes like we've seen, like we saw last week with penalties, delay of game, and last week at the worst possible time, you had a delay of game penalty and a fumble. When you're trying to take a lead late against a team you've never beaten before, you cannot make those kind of mistakes, and we've seen it come back to bite them in the past.
Yeah, and if you remember that last drive against Douglas too, I think there were 2 delay games, and they burned a timeout when they had all the momentum on that drive that I thought they really should have rode that momentum train a little bit there. But when your team is built around sound defense and a stout run game, you have to be front runners.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard when you get behind to be explosive. So they're trying to get ahead, there's no doubt. And defensively, they can wear you down if they're out in front with the lead and they can control the clock with the ball.
Well, and one of the things that was an issue last week that could also come into play tonight. So William Blair, head coach in his 3rd season, recently had reconstructive ACL surgery. His cadaver gave out, and he had to have a repair of that. So last week, he was actually coaching from a golf cart, and actually made a joke. Whenever we got here, Aaron Stepp was on his scooter for his knee problem, and then Coach Blair was driving the golf cart, and I asked him, I said, have you guys ever lined them up and raced before? And Coach Stepp just kind of looked at me and told me to shut up, in a fun way, obviously. But those guys are, when you've got your head coach who can't really be out there on the sidelines doing what you're used to him doing, that was the issue last week. And I was talking to Carson Herbst and Camden Burke about it, and they said that the person that was giving the play call last week is not used to it. So during those delay of game penalties, they didn't know who to go to or who was giving the play call. So hopefully all that is fixed when you come out here tonight.
It felt like first game of the year hiccups like they had, like every team. We talked about that first game. You always have those hiccups operationally, and they had some of those at an awful time, But, life's still going to do life. Life's still going to happen. There's not a lot you can do about that, especially, where it is high school football. It's not the pros. Sometimes things are going to happen that you've got to do that. I remember one year at Southern, I had a voice polyp, and I had to have surgically removed from my vocal cord.
Wow, okay.
And so I did it in an off season, but that next year I had to use a microphone at practice. They were like, you have to stop yelling. And so that was a huge adjustment for me because I was always a big projector to have to use a microphone to talk. So we're not young anymore, man. We got to take care of ourselves.
Exactly. Well, and too, I feel like you're kind of like myself. We have that voice that does carry.
Yeah.
And you can you get loud without even knowing you're kind of getting loud. For GRC, they're coming off a 3-point loss to Bryan Station last week, and they, too, feel like they let one slip away. The defenders and the Cardinals was in a tight one throughout, Station winning 28-25. GRC has had winning streaks of 3 and 2 this season, and they have not lost back-to-back games on the year. So at home, on senior night, a confident football team trying to do what they did last year and knock off the Madison Central Indians. Last week in that loss to Bryan Station, Carter Music, the quarterback, 5 of 11 through the air, 53 yards and a touchdown. But the run game, which is what we have seen from GRC in the past, also was their bread and butter last week. 23 carries for Braylon Nestor, 162 yards and a score. Landon Belcher, 9 carries, 62 yards and a touchdown. They had 5 different receivers catch a pass, led by Nestor, who caught 3 balls for 7 yards. Atheus Morris caught the only touchdown. It was a 30-yard reception for him. So they have guys that can break a long play on you. And last week we saw Central's corners playing off a lot. And we saw the Douglas offense take advantage of that, where their quarterback would just drop back. The receivers would run a 5-yard hitch, turn around, show you the numbers, quarterback would hit them. And that could be something that if GRC saw on film, they could take advantage of tonight as well.
Could be. It'll be interesting to see if they respect their their receivers the same way they did Douglas. But, one thing to note, just kind of looking statistically, Braylon Nestor, you mentioned him, Landon Belcher, the two guys that had the most yards last week for him, and then also Stryker Davidson. I looked at their top leading rushers. They're averaging 9, 10, and 8 yards per touch on the season. That is extremely rare 8 games into the year. So there's some explosiveness in the backfield, and Nestor has 10 touchdowns rushing, but he also has 2 receiving. So he's a guy that they're using out of the backfield. They're using him in the pass game as well. So it'll be interesting to see what Central does defensively. Sometimes they tend to load the box a little more against a run team like this, but these guys are averaging 120 yards passing a game, so be interested to see if they play base, what they're going to do here tonight.
Well, and too, you talked about, they seem to load the box more against a running team.
Yep.
They've been able to kind of slow down some really good running backs, but you've also seen the kid from Great Crossing had some big numbers against Central. We saw what Talbot did last week. Talk about explosiveness. I don't know if across the state you can find a kid that is explosive as Dakari Talbot. Yeah. So GRC does have some weapons. We'll see if the Indians are able to slow them down tonight. We'll talk about the keys to the game when we come back. For Madison Central, Indians are at GRC tonight, looking to get back in the win column after that first district loss last week to Frederick Douglass. GRC looking to do the same after a loss on the road to Bryan Station. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. It's Madison Central and GRC here on the pregame show, brought to you by Chenault Vineyards. Next weekend, Easton Corbin coming to town, as Chenault Vineyards has been having a great lineup this spring and summer, and now obviously into the fall. It'll be Easton Corbin taking the stage at Chenault Vineyards, and you can get more information by following the Vine at Chenault Vineyards Facebook page, or you can buy your tickets now at thevineky.com. Celebrate the homecoming festivities with EKU by capping it off that night at Chenault Vineyards with Easton Corbin. Back in 3 minutes, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on WEKY and our audio stream on WBON TV.
At Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, we make it our priority to deliver the gentle, compassionate care that you deserve from a dentist. Offering single-visit restoration on crowns, bridges, inlays, onlays, and veneers with Cerac. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry is equipped to handle all your dental needs, from surgical implant placement and restoration, teeth whitening, root canal therapy, and more. And we now have the Cone Beam 3D technology for taking scans of the jaw. For your next dental appointment, call Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry at 859-985-0201.
Are you tired of living with the pain and discomfort that comes with getting older? If you're like me, then sometimes just getting up can be a challenge. At Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapy in Richmond, their experts are here to help get you back in the game. Whether it's a sports injury, recovering from an accident, or just the aches and pains that come with age, they'll connect you with someone who can put together a personalized treatment plan and deliver long-lasting results. Visit osptky.com to get started, or go by and see former Madison Central graduate Heather Kleins.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
When you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Jerry Goebel in Richmond today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At the Galaxy Bowling Center and Champions Bar and Grill, we have activities galore, including video games, bowling, pool, delicious food at Champions, plus karaoke and live entertainment 7 days a week. Enjoy the climate-controlled patio, watch NFL football, and your Kentucky Wildcats all season long. The Galaxy Bowling Center and Champions Bar and Grill, just off exit 87 at 1025 Amberley Way in Richmond.
Honor, integrity, excellence. When it comes to protecting your home, rely on the experts who have served our country. At VC Veterans Contracting, our mission is to make your home feel safe. Our customers constantly rate us 5 stars for our expertise and professionalism. Trust your roof to the veterans who served. Call VC Veterans Contracting today or scan the code on screen for a free quote. VC Veterans Contracting, your roof, our mission.
The heat in Kentucky hits hard. That's why having Madison HVAC on your side is so important. Don't waste time. Schedule a maintenance check on your HVAC system and make sure it's ready to handle the constant changing of the weather that comes with living in Kentucky. Your comfort is their promise. Like Madison HVACR Inc. on Facebook or schedule your maintenance checkup at 859-625-1471. Pruitt & Sons Auctioneers have over 24 years experience in the auction industry. Whether you're selling real estate, personal property, or liquidating your assets, Pruitt & Sons can help take your property to auction and walk you through the process. Serving all over Central Kentucky, visit PruittAuctioneers.com. And remember, Angela Pruitt for all your real estate needs as well.
When life gets complicated, you need someone who understands. Since 2003, Blevins Law has navigated real estate closings, wills, estates, car accidents, and personal injury cases with care and clarity. If your family has experienced death or injury, make Blevins your first call.
Blevins Law. Compassionate, reliable, real. Call 859-985-5410 to hire Blevins Law for the win. Office is located at 400 Richmond Road, North Berea, or search blevinslaw.net to contact them today. Back to Winchester as we welcome you into the broadcast as Madison Central traveling over this way to take on the Cardinals of George Rogers Clark. And the Indians obviously trying to get back in the win column as GRC has not lost a game back-to-back this year. Neither have the Indians, and these two teams obviously are very familiar with each other. They play every year in football, every year in basketball, and for the most part, the Cardinals have had a lot of success winning in 2021, 43-7, in 22, or excuse me, GRC winning last year. They did have a 3-year stretch where they won twice in 2019 and again in 2020. Then Central won 3 straight games, winning 43-7 in 2021, 27-14 in 2022, and then in 2023, the Indians won by 3 on a last-second field goal that year. These two teams, normally when they play, the game is rather close, and we'll see if that is the case again tonight, Coach. When you look at tonight's game, we've seen Central this year. They have played a lot of teams that play similar styles to them that like to run the football, play good defense. It'll be the same case again here tonight.
Yeah, and I was just kind of pulling up some more numbers looking here. It looks like, we all know what Corinthian Barnes is doing for Central, and you and I have talked about getting him going early in the game. He's sitting at 6th in 6A in rushing right now, and that's based on yards per game. And then you've got this young man, Braylon Nestor from GRC, who is 8th in 6A with rushing yards per game, but he's up there at number 5 if you look at his yards per carry. He's a very, very explosive guy. And then Stryker Davidson is on here as well. He's averaging 10 yards a carry for them, which those are not fluke numbers. You can do that for one game.
Yeah.
But when you look at a body of work over 8 games, they've played the Sales out of Ohio. They played a team out of West Virginia. They've played some good competition in there. So those numbers are definitely respect earning of how you have to defend those guys on the field.
One good note for the Indians tonight. For the first time this season, William Thurman will be dressing, injured himself during the preseason and was unable to play to this point in the year. They got Quisenberry back last week. He had a couple of really nice plays defensively at that corner spot.
He really did. He stood out.
Now you get William Thurman back, who was really good last year. I think obviously it'll take a couple of games for him to kind of get into a rhythm. But last year Thurman had 16 solo tackles, 12 assisted tackles. He had 1 tackle for loss, but led the team with 5 sacks. He can really get after the quarterback. So you put him out there with what Bronson Parker and Mathis are doing, along with the guys of McElwee, Daly, Reeder. You add another athlete to this defensive front, And I think it could really be something that can play a huge advantage down the road for Central, because teams haven't really got a lot of film on William Thurman this year to know what kind of impact he can have. And if he can even be close to what he was last year, that is another huge asset the defense will be adding.
I mean, what a great thing. A lot of guys are losing guys this late in the season. And last week we added a young man to the secondary whose presence was felt right away. And if they could keep adding guys as the season goes on, it's like the transfer portal without it, right? I mean, that's really what you want to be able to do. So, I mean, adding guys to an already solid defense that I think is one of the top defenses in this class right now is nothing but a win for the Indians to be able to do that.
Well, when you look at guys like McElwee, Daly, Reeder, some of the guys on the back end, they do have a lot of, for sure, sure tacklers. They got guys that can make plays when guys are. They don't have a ton of really athletic guys out there.
Yeah.
And Thurman is a good athlete with speed and power. You put him out there with what the guys are already doing, that is another huge weapon for this Madison Central defense. Let's take a 2-minute commercial break and come back for the kickoff. Indians will be in the white road uniforms with the blue pants tonight. GRC wearing the all black with the white numbers and letters outlined in red. Kickoff on the other side. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on WEKY and WBON TV.
Gillum Sports Lounge isn't just a place for good food and hospitality. It's about gathering with family and friends, satisfying those taste buds, and cheering on your favorite team. You can't go wrong with one of their delicious burgers, salads, pizzas, or one of their many appetizers. Order online or stop in and see for yourself why Gillum Sports Lounge has been a staple in Richmond for almost 20 years. Located inside the Richmond Mall. Gillum Sports Lounge. Like them on Facebook to see more.
Bills don't care when payday is. But with CVNB's new checking account, you access your paycheck up to 2 days early, giving you faster access to your money when it matters most. Cover rent, buy groceries, pay your bills. Skip the stress before payday even hits. Open your account today at cvnb.com or visit your local CVNB branch. CVNB. Think better.
Back to Winchester at George Rogers Clark High School. And, Coach, I don't know why, I feel like this is going to be a Davion DeBruce game.
Okay.
We've kind of seen him, sprinkle in some as getting some carries, and it just feels like this could be a game that Davion DeBruce has one of those breakout performances. The senior scored his first touchdown a couple of weeks ago against Great Crossing, and he's back here along with Jeff Hairston to return the kick. Central will have the opening possession as we come at you live here on WEKY. And welcome into the Friday Night Lights on WBON TV as well. And it will be DeBruce returning from the 6-yard line.
Good patience.
Davion saw a hole, now kind of cuts it through. Going to be wrapped up and taken down across the 25 to the 27-yard line. And that is where the Indians will begin this drive with Carson Herbst, the junior quarterback, coming out. Had a great season last year, has been really good this year, whether he's throwing it or running the football. A very efficient option for this Madison Central offense. And, talking to some scouts from a couple of the schools that I've got connections with, Carson's getting some recruiting buzz as well. And they're going to start, Coach, here in the shotgun with Herbst for the first time this year.
It's a different look.
They'll start with Herbst in the shotgun, and they'll run it with, that is... ball came out. Central fumbled it on the opening play, but give Bronson Parker, I believe, that credit for hopping on it. But it was a handoff to Quincy Compton on the first play of the game, and he lost the football back on the wrong side of the 25 to the 24-yard line, so a loss of 3 is the result when it looked like Compton had picked up 3 or 4 on the other side.
Yeah, they motioned back to a full house backfield, ran just a gun triple. It's the same thing they're doing. The read's a little different for the quarterback when he's 5 yards back. You have to write it differently to get that DN to commit. One thing worth noting is Donnie Gentry took his guy for a ride and caked him 10 yards down the field on the play. Just a really good-looking block by Donnie.
Now back to that wing T formation with Corinthian Barnes as the fullback. And Herbst lost the football. So 2 plays to start the game, and Central coughs it up. Both times, however, lucky enough to fall on it. And at the moment, it is 3rd down and 14, and they go quick, no huddle offense.
3rd and 14 with a quick play call here. Not the best start to the game for him on 3rd and
15. Yeah,
3rd and 14.
Yeah, 3rd and 14, 10.5 to go. Indians will keep it. Pitch it out to Davion DeBruce. We just talked about him right before he returned the kickoff. And Davion has got a long play up the left sideline, across midfield, and down to the 45, make it the 43-yard line. A big play to Davion DeBruce as they run the option. And Davion, the recipient of a pitch out from Carson Herbst, and a big pickup for the Indians tailback, Davion DeBruce.
Well, you've got to be confident in that if you're doing it on 3rd and 13, but we've not seen a ton of effective pitches this year, and I feel like it's what's been lacking in their triple game, so to see that is encouraging.
They go to
Double
Compton
dive.
again, and I believe he lost the football again. Maybe not. It looked as if the ball came out. Compton able to hold on to it. They'll pick up 3 down to the 40-yard line of the Cardinals.
They're playing fast, aren't they? They're back on the line again.
And could that be the case of where, Coach Blair, again, he is riding up and down. You can see him over here in the golf cart. He's, 40, 50 yards away from where the ball is spotted, trying to, give some direction to the offense. Very difficult to do what he's having to do the last 2 games.
Yeah, what I find interesting here, too, is they're up on the line, but it's taking a long time to get the play in, so they're losing the effect of the hurry-up. So I'm not sure what we're trying to do here.
Pitch out to Barnes. Corinthian, 1st down and more, as Barnes falls down across the 30, down to the 29-yard line. Haven't seen that
was
much
a new
this
wrinkle.
year.
That was a new wrinkle.
Yeah, a little lead toss with the fullback, Corinthian Barnes, and he's able to show off his speed. It's the first time this year. We're, 8 games in, and for the very first time this season, they didn't start the game with a fullback dive to Barnes. So showing you that they are trying to change some things up. Here's Compton again in motion. Right back to Barnes. Corinthian, a big hole, lowers his shoulder, and will pick up 8, maybe 9 yards on 1st and 10. And this Central offense, unlike we've seen all year long, Coach, they are a locomotive right now, just in a hurry up on offense, not huddling up, getting right back on the football and trying to cause some confusion for the defense.
Yeah, and it leads me to wonder, are there guys playing both ways for GRC that are some impact players? We've not seen them do this much.
2nd down and short. They'll give it to Barnes again. Corinthians spun around and taken down from behind, but not before picking up the 3 yards he needed to move the sticks inside the 20-yard line. The Indians have it. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 19.
They're averaging about 9 yards a touch right now if you take away those first 2 plays that were fumbles on the ball. So, again, on the ball, not huddling, but not in a hurry-up scenario per se. They're taking their time at the line, but they're hurrying to the line. Trap
play to Barnes, and he'll take it from the 19 down inside the 15-yard line. And, Coach, you talked about it again. They're not really in a hurry-up per se. They're just hurrying up to the line and forcing GRC to get set, and then maybe taking what the defense is showing them before they send the play call in. Could that be what they're doing?
Yeah, we used to call this a check with me scenario. Now, we would actually get down and fake a play and then look to the sideline so I could really see the look they're in. The other thing this does is this makes the defense play a little more bland because they don't have time to huddle either. So they don't have time to make a lot of adjustments or sub defensively.
Barnes again taking the football from Herbst and again moving the sticks. It will be a 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line as Madison Central just keeps moving the football down the field inside the 10. 2 plays into this drive, it was nothing but fumbles. The Indians kept possession, however, on both and now have it 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, there's an unbalanced, this is their unbalanced set, unbalanced with the tight end to the left.
Cardinals showing blitz. They give it to Barnes. Corinthian lowers his shoulder, picks up 7 inside the 1. It'll be 2nd and goal as they just keep riding that fullback, Corinthian Barnes, who will be looking for touchdown number 11. Make it 12 if he can pick one up here.
Boy, he's running like a guy that didn't like the results last week, didn't he? He's running extremely hard and behind his pads tonight.
Herbst will keep it. Quarterback sneak, lunges forward, and a Whitaker bank touchdown. Carson Herbst keeps it himself, dives across the goal line for his 6th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Indians strike first. What a drive.
Fastest 75-yard drive we've seen out of the Indians by far. Here's what I like about it. We've mentioned all year that the offense needs something, whether it's to throw a little more, a new wrinkle. I'm starting to see some new wrinkles in here that they're trying to find a little more sauce on the offensive side, which I think is really good to see.
They'll swing the gate, and a Cardinals player did come across the line. No flag yet. They'll swing the gate for Peyton Gilboa to line up for the PAT. Herbst will hold. There's the snap. Gets it down. Kick is up, and it's 7-0 Indians. 6:59 to play. What an opening drive for Madison Central. Didn't start off pretty, but it ends with a quarterback keeper by Carson Herbst, sneaking it into the end zone. It's Indians 7-0 on WEKY and WBON TV.
It's that time of year when we are day and night driving with our kids all over. Your car never stops. At Amco Transmissions, we make sure to keep you rolling. We have the latest technology, certified technicians, and longest warranty to keep your vehicles running strong. We specialize in all foreign and domestic transmissions, drivetrain, or just general maintenance. Did you know at Amco, the average customer saves $1,800 in comparison to the dealer? And Amco has a longer warranty. Come see us at Amco Transmission for the best service and the cheapest prices around. AA MCO.
Cars of Kentucky is a proud sponsor of Eastern Kentucky University Athletics. In Richmond, we bleed maroon. Go Colonels. And when you're ready for your next pre-owned automobile, swing on over to Cars of Kentucky. Cars of Kentucky has vehicles starting at $3,000 and up, so we literally have something for every budget. 356 Big Hill Avenue in Richmond, or check them out, carsofkentucky.com. Let's go Colonels.
Back to the action here in Winchester. It's the George Rogers Clark Cardinals on senior night trying to get a victory against the Madison Central Indians. Little high pooch kick that'll be returned from the just outside of the 20-yard line. And it's number 5 for the Cardinals on that return, Coach. And a good way for GRC to start a drive here at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, very impressive offensive drive. Over 77 yards. It was quick. It was crisp. Outside of the first 2 plays, it was good to see him get it together after that. It could have gone sideways pretty fast. One thing I noticed is the kickoff team was out, ready to go pretty quick. It's like there's a sense of urgency on this team right now that I've not seen in the previous weeks.
Yeah, definitely playing a different style of football here tonight compared to what we saw last week. Much better execution on that opening drive despite the 2 fumbles on the first 2 plays. McElwee here defending as the pass intended for Trey Davis, the junior. Pass incomplete, and Music 0 for 1 to start the day as Joe Chirico, the head coach here. He said since 2021, Chirico, and he's done a good job with this program. They've had some really good individual players over the years come through GRC, and you look at what kind of athletes they're able to put out there. Cardinals definitely have some weapons as Music will throw a little screen pass. It's completed, and Zay Livelle on the reception. Takes it across the 30 and up to the 31-yard line for a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, they've seen something that they like in the pass game. They came out with a little 8-yard speed out. That McElwee did a really nice job defending against an athletic slot on that first play, and that was just a quick screen on the second. So they're trying to pick on some of the secondary here, see what they do on third and 7.
3rd down, a big down for this Central defense.
Central's in their base 34 with 2 high safeties.
They'll hand it off. Indians doing a good job as McElwee stands up the ball carrier at the 32-yard line. He'll move forward just a tad across the 32 to gain 1.5 yards, and it's 4th and 5 quickly for the Cardinals on their opening drive, and a decision here for Chirico. We'll see what they do.
They've got a punt here. They can't give him the ball after that series in this territory. This has got to be a punt, even if it's a quick kick.
Yeah, Music talking here with the OC, and they'll huddle up, and looks like they are at least considering.
There's got to be a quick kick going on here. The depth of the quarterback, he's in a deeper depth. They're about to kick this. the quarterback's 2 yards deeper than normal alignment.
They'll send a man in motion, right to left. 5 seconds on the play clock.
Central has nobody deep.
Yeah, nobody back for the Indians to return, and it will take a GRC bounce inside the 20-yard line and be down at the 18 for the Indians to begin this drive.
That's a tricky scenario because they're motioning to trip, so you have to play defense there in case they're going to do something, and you don't really have a guy to spare back unless you stick a safety back there, which they chose not to do. But that was a great job flipping the field by GRC right there.
They'll spot the nose of the football on the 19. So the Indians will go right to left on your radio dial if you're listening to us on 92.5 WEKY or on our audio stream here on the WBON TV Facebook page. Gage Hill back at the station controlling its 1st and 10 for Madison Central with Carson Herbst giving the play call to his fullback, Corinthian Barnes, which led the way on their last drive. They'll go right back to Barnes here to open things up on drive number 2. And he'll move it across the 20 up to the 22-yard line, maybe the 23 for a 2nd down and 7.
Nice read by Herbst on the triple option to the right. Herbst, after he hands that off, he gets bumped by the DN. That's a good sign. That means he's giving it to the lead back because the lead back's not playing the fullback. When that guy's hitting Herbst, he's doing his job. If that guy's not hitting Herbst, it's probably a pull scenario there, so that's a nice job on the triple read.
Got a timeout somewhere. 5:04 to play in the first quarter as we bring into the action in Winchester. A big one that we'll be paying attention to throughout the night. Bryan Station and Frederick Douglass renewing their rivalry. The defenders under first-year head coach J.T. Haskins now taking over that program and trying to knock off the Broncos, which – now, if you look, if Bryan Station and both of those teams 1-0 in district play, both of these teams here in Winchester 0-1 with the Indians and GRC. So whoever wins that game tonight, a huge leg up in district play.
That one could get out of hand tonight, in my opinion. Yeah. I could see Douglass real. I mean, you and I both talked about it last week. Douglass was a few clean plays away in the first half from it being a 21-point game at halftime potentially.
Yeah, with a freshman quarterback.
They're. I mean, Central played a great game against them, but they made some mistakes that helped. There's no doubt about it. But they make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, they always have. So
2nd down and 7. 5:04 to play. It's Compton on the handoff, and Quincy tackled about a yard shy of the first down. They run it with the senior who's had some explosive plays this year. Compton, the bad part for Quincy, I can recall at least 4 times this year where he's had at least a 40-yard touchdown called back. He has had some explosive plays that have just ended up with a penalty negating a long touchdown for Quincy Compton. But he's also had a couple of big plays that have gone his way. Gets it back here. Oh, man, they faked it to him and gave it to Barnes. Barnes will pick up a first down, but Compton had nobody in front of him. Obviously, the defense read it well and brought down Corinthian, but not before he picked up a first down. So 1st and 10, Madison Central across the 30 at 31-yard line.
When they need those 2 yards, they get in that unbalanced look and run that G scheme off tackle. It's just been their bread and butter this year.
This time, they do give it to Compton. Quincy dancing around, breaking tackles at the 40. One man to beat, finally taken down by his number counterpart. That's number 5, Lavelle, who brings him down at the 29. Let's see where they spot this football. Compton takes it all the way inside Cardinals territory. A huge play, and it looked like we went right back to it, but this time they did fake it to Corinthian and gave it to Compton, and he made the defense pay.
Well, and I'm already seeing in the first quarter of this game, they're distributing the ball to more backs. They've got more snap and more pop offensively. There's a little more tempo and urgency going on right now. This is an adjustment. Bronson Parker's lined up in a wing back position. We haven't seen this yet.
DeBruce in motion.
They're going to run behind him.
Yep, pitch it to Barnes, near side. The GRC sideline wanted a flag. No flag comes in, and Barnes will take it all the way across the 15, down near the 12-yard line.
Well, that tells you how much they think of Bronson Parker when they stick him out there on a wing to block for a lead toss. Kind of a little package scenario for him right there. That's new. It's a new wrinkle. So you've got Lawson with his hand down and Bronson Parker in a wing behind him. He just switched to the weak side right now. Look at him checking that wristband, trying to figure out what's going on. It's a lot for a young guy playing a lot of positions right now. Now he's in the backfield.
Yep. They send DeBruce in motion.
He's leading for Corinthian.
And Barnes stood up as he got across the 10 down to the 7-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Indians. With 3:20 to play in this first quarter, Indians already on top 7-0 after a quarterback sneak by Carson Herbst on their first drive of the ball game. Now looking to make it a 2-score lead as we near 3 minutes to play in the first half.
I mean, something that stands out to me is GRC's D linemen already have their hands on their hips, a couple guys on their knees. Like the O-line for Central's wearing them out in the first quarter.
And off Barnes. And Corinthian about a yard short of that first down marker. Will have it at the 4-yard line. So 3rd down and 1 from the 4 for the Indians. And they go right back to this hurry-up offense, lining up with Carson looking over to the sideline to get the play call in. You've got Hairston moving over to the near side at the wide receiver spot. Camden Berg.
A lot of conversations going on in the backfield. They still are yet to huddle in the first half.
I think they're going to run this one right side. They do, or they fake it to Barnes. Herbst tried to dive across the goal line. They're going to say he was brought down at the 1 again, but that does move the sticks. It's 1st and goal, and Central going right back to the line again. See if they just keep it with Carson as they did on their first drive of the football game. 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Herbst will go up under center. He'll take the snap, and he was tackled, and it looked like he was kept out. Great defensive effort as coming in to make the play, Colton Johns, the senior. Oh, they're going to say touchdown. The officials get together, and Carson Herbst will score for the 2nd time in the game. The quarterback sneak pays off for the sophomore, and now 8, make it 7 rushing touchdowns on the season for Carson Herbst.
Herbst is living the dream right now. Let those guys bring that ball all the way down the field and then get you a tutty at the end of it right there, isn't he? He's going to owe them. He's going to owe them breakfast at Cracker Barrel this next week.
So Carson will hold now on the PAT for Peyton Gilboa. Central looking to go up 14-0, and Carson Herbst up to 10 total touchdowns on the year. The PAT is up, but a flag does come in. I believe it's offsides against GRC. We'll see.
Yeah, last snap was low.
No, false start.
False start. Last snap was low. Herbst did a great job of handling. This one was high and hot, and Herbst pulled it back down. He's doing a good job, and there's the holder.
Just shows you, again, we've talked about his composure. Nothing really rattles this junior quarterback as they now line it up from the 15-yard line. So a 25-yard extra point attempt for Peyton Gilboa, trying to put the Indians ahead 14-0.
Yeah, you know, something that you can really get a lot from a loss against a close team and a close loss. And it is very apparent to me this team has a little chip on their shoulder since last week. They've watched the film. I think, we talked about it can be a big encouragement for them. They feel they belonged in that. They should have won that game last week, and they're playing like they're not done yet this season. They got something to prove.
Extra point is good. Let's take a 30-second commercial break. We'll come back with the Cardinals kicking it, or with the Cardinals receiving the kickoff from the Indians on WEKY.
When it comes to auto service, 2 things are important: experience and hometown service. Hall & Sons Auto Care is starting their 20th year in business in Richmond. That's 20 years locally owned and operated. Hall & Sons Auto Care can take care of you from preventative maintenance to major engine repair. Hall & Sons Auto Care is also carrying BW towing products as well as rough country suspension and lift kits. Give us a chance to be your auto repair shop. Visit us at 209 North Keeneland Drive in Richmond.
Peyton Gilboa will kick it away for the Indians following 2 beautiful drives led by Corinthian Barnes. A couple of big plays sprinkled in by Quincy Compton and Davion DeBruce. And this one is going to be a touchback, as Gilboa has done so many times this season, pinning the other team back at their own 20 and not giving Leval a chance to return it.
It's hard in high school to go 80 yards. I like that play every time. That's my favorite play in the playbook right there, is a kicker kicking it out of the end zone like that. Just can be such a momentum killer for the other team. They know they've got to go 80 every time after giving up a touchdown.
Yeah, and you look at this point in the ball game, minute 45 left to go in the first quarter. GRC down 14-0. They've ran 3 plays for 4 yards at this juncture. We'll see if they come out with music and get a little bit more creative offensively on 1st and 10. Music will hand off on 1st down. A big hole up the middle. Quincy Compton comes in to make the stop as they handed it off to number 9, Braylon Nestor.
Worth noting is they're running true RPOs. So the quarterback's in the gun. While he's handing that ball off, he's watching a defensive read key on if he's going to pull and throw the ball. So it's a pass version of the triple option, like Central's running true triple. He's reading the slot. What I think is interesting is Central still playing their base, and they're not covering up the slot receiver. So they're showing like they're going to give it, but the safety can come downhill on it.
Music kind of bobbled the snap. It was high, able to go up and get it. And William Thurman, first time we've said his name all season, involved in that play defensively along with McElwee on the stop for Madison Central. And at the moment, the Indians have forced GRC to a 3rd and long for the 2nd straight drive, trying to force a 3-and-out for the 2nd straight drive. It's 3rd down and 7 for the Cardinals as we dip under 40 seconds to play here before the snap.
Something worth noting is you got Canterbury out here to the home field at corner, and they were playing a squat cover too. If they throw that bubble next time, he's sitting there, he's going to take somebody's head off.
3rd down, looking over the middle, and that pass is caught. It's complete. Quisenberry on the defense as the pass caught by Hayden Cecil, the junior, making the grab and moving the sticks for the Cardinals. And a nice pass there by Music as he found his guy over the middle. And Quisenberry giving a lot of room there defensively, Coach, like we saw last week, and the Cardinals taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why in that scenario when they go cover 4.
Says Quisenberry, it's Canterbury.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're going such soft coverage in cover 4, and cover 2 he's tightening down a little bit. Safeties are wider here. Looks like a potential cover 2 scenario again.
Handoff near side. McElwee there. I mean, he came straight out of that slot. He was defending the slot receiver, came up to make the stop, and an injured player, as that is Nestor, the top tailback for GRC.
Holding his head.
Yeah, holding his head as he went down with that injury. So while the two teams gather up with the injury timeout, we will pause and step aside. We'll be right back on WEKY.
Cars break down. Tires go flat. Check engine lights show up at the worst possible time. Don't break the bank fixing your car when ABR Auto Recyclers has you covered. They have good used tires, a huge selection of parts, and they can get a large selection of aftermarket parts shipped overnight. They're just a quick drive down 4 Mile, and you can't miss them on Box Ankle Road. You can save 50 to 75% off retail prices. Go see Scott and the gang or check them out online at abrautorecyclers.net.
We would like to invite you to join our family at Bishop's Small Engine Repair.
Outdoor Power has become a family tradition, with 3 generations here bringing you years of experience.
We will help you find the best selection of outdoor power equipment from Co-Cadet, Grasshopper, DeWalt, Makita, Echo, Shindawa, and now still in our Georgetown store.
Or bring your equipment into our service department. We will keep it running for years to come.
And as with all families, we have to keep Mama happy. So come on in and see us at Bishop's Small Engine Repair in Richmond and in Georgetown.
Loss of 5 on 1st down. So 2nd down and 15 is the 2nd quarter now underway in Winchester. McElwee making that tackle for loss and pushing the Cardinals back. Music in the shotgun with the tailback to his left, 2 receivers near side to his left side as the Cardinals now flip fields and go right to left on your radio dial.
Safeties are moving quite a bit.
Music.
Man coverage.
Going deep. Hairston defending, and that pass just a tad bit too far out in front, intended for Athias Morris, the junior. Music, though, all day to sit back there and let it fly, and good news for GRC fans as Nestor is coming back into the ball game following that scare.
Yeah, he had a shot at the post there. He just overthrew it. But, that young man had a slight step on Hairston. Hairston's going to make a play on him. But they caught him in man coverage. They were showing cover 4, and then they rolled last minute to man and had a shot at a one-on-one right there. They're going to have to hit those kind of plays to get back in this ball game.
Yeah. 3rd down now and 15 from Music in the Cardinal offense. Carter, the sophomore. And we've got a delay of game for GRC. So make a 3rd and 15, now a 3rd and 20. And, Coach, that time it looked like they had the play call in. They were just waiting for Music to snap the football. He never did. And then the delay of game is the result, pushing this football back to the 27, make it the 28-yard line. So 3rd and 19 for GRC.
Central's giving them some little different looks right now. Higher out there at outside linebacker. He's stepping back like a safety a little bit. The safeties are rolling down. They're just giving him some unique looks. It's almost screen.
The screen one way, throw it the other, and Higher is the one that comes in to finally slow down the receiver that made the catch. He picks up 9 back to the line of scrimmage where they began this first down. It's 4th and 10 for the Cardinals as Music makes his way over to the sideline. And in this spot, Coach, down by 2 scores early on in the second quarter. Still a long way to go in this football game. But GRC looks as if they might be itching to go for one here.
Yeah, 4th and 10 this early in the game.
It's hard.
They haven't had an explosive play like that since. Now, if you get soft coverage, maybe, unless they've got some sort of scenario. We used to come into plays like this where we'd roll out, and it could be a punt or a pass, depending on the scenario. Nobody deep again for Central. Quarterback is deep. This is going to be a punt.
Music does get it away. It'll take another GRC bounce, and it'll go over the 20, make it the 19-yard line. So
yeah, it's interesting for GRC. You don't see a lot of teams do that anymore. I wonder if they've got some roll. Like we used to do that with Walt, but he'd roll out first, and then we'd run a certain route combo that if he had the first down, he could throw it, and they'd run it the sticks, or he'd roll out and kick it late. You don't see a lot line up like that and just kick it. I don't know if they have a check in that, but they're getting the roll. If you put somebody back there, though, that's a returnable ball.
So 1st and 10.
Unbalanced again. Here we go. Look for the G scheme off tackle left.
Indians back to work offensively. They'll keep it with Herbst on the RPO, and Carson picks up 11 yards. It's the second time tonight where he's kind of went up into the air and flailed his body around before going down. But a run that results in a gain of 11, and the Indians move the sticks. And they're now going left to right, if you've got us tuned in on WBKY. Left to right side for Madison Central as they work with a 14-0 lead, 10.5 to play in this first half. And Carson walking over to the sideline. They'll take a timeout. Indians with a big lead early on by 2 scores over the Cardinals. We'll be back on WEKY.
You know what they say. Every great season starts with a strong lineup. Neat agility, the Trailblazer cuts through traffic like a wide receiver in the red zone. Power, the Silverado handles work and tailgates like a linebacker on a mission. And if you're ready to go electric, the Equinox EV has the range to go all the way. No matter your game plan, Jack Whippert Chevrolet has the vehicle that suits your drive. Stop in, suit up, and let's kick off your next adventure.
Back to the action here in Winchester after a Madison Central 11-yard pickup by Carson Herbst. The Indians take a timeout. It's 1st and 10, and they'll give it to Parker. Bronson stood up, still on his feet. He's broke a couple of tackles, but, man, GRC just rallying to the football. No gain on the play for Bronson Parker, but, Coach, it took multiple efforts to bring him down.
Well, you know I'm a fan, and as getting him involved offensively, I'm a fan of getting this kid involved anywhere on the field. Really just like the way he plays, like what he's about. It's the first game, though, we've seen him in this involved. He's lined up at fullback right now.
2nd down, and the Cardinals almost jump offside. They get back as Carson Herbst looks over to the sideline. Central gets the play call in. Still 8 seconds on the play clock. Corinthian Barnes not in the game right now. Parker now lined up at fullback, and they'll give it to him. Parker gets it across the 35 and up to the 36-yard line. And, Coach, you know, I like getting this young man involved. We've seen him now play the wing and the fullback spot. We've seen him play nose tackle this year. He's
outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker. He can really do so many different things.
He really is, man. He's really emerging. And I like the way they've gradually integrated him. You know, as a sophomore like this in 6A football, sometimes some of them can handle just being thrown out there, but he's got a leadership group at the positions he's playing where he doesn't have to be tossed out there. He's been brought along slowly, which is really good for his confidence.
Barnes back in the game at fullback for this third down and long 4, short 5. Burke, the right tackle.
That's a triple.
They'll pitch it out to DeBruce. Davion makes one man miss, has a first down and more. And for the second time in this football game, they run the triple option, and they pitch it out to Davion DeBruce. And for the second time in the game, he has made a big-time play off that pitch, this time all the way up to the 49-yard line, setting up a 1st and 10 on the Indian side of the field still.
Well, that was not the right read by your quarterback. So he ended up pitching off the dive key. It should have been a give there, but he pulled it, and he had to pitch off the same guy he read, which is why you had a one-on-one out in the perimeter.
Yeah.
But that was a great job of making the first guy miss with that pitch.
Yeah, DeBruce kind of juked the defender. Herbst will keep here. Carson's got daylight at the 30. 15-10. Carson Herbst with one man to beat. He will take it all the way for a 51-yard rushing touchdown. Talking some smack, and rightfully so. For the third time tonight, it's pay dirt for Carson Herbst, and the Indians have taken a 20-0 lead. With Peyton Gilboa coming on, they'll swing the gate for the extra point.
That was the right read.
Yeah.
So that's the nice thing about when you can run triple throughout the game, your quarterback can get in a rhythm. And so he knew the play before he made the wrong read. He comes back, he rode the fullback a little longer, got that the end to bite, and he was gone because that guy, the outside guy, jumped the pitch man. Great read by him, great blocking up front.
And really untouched.
Yeah, a two-hand touch. He's still scoring there. Yep.
Gilboa will kick the extra point as the Indians try to pull away here in district play. It's 21-0. Indians on the road in Winchester. A big lead early on WEKY.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
You've heard the name Chenault Vineyards, but what do you know about it? Chenault Vineyards is a place for the community to enjoy. Central Kentucky's premier event and wedding destination with 5 event venues, full-service catering, over 13 varieties of wine, live music entertainment, seasonal food options, weekly themed Wednesday night out and girls night out, trivia, murder mystery date nights, and free yoga on the point with beautiful views. Everyone can find something to do at Chenault Vineyards. Want to know more? Follow them on Facebook and Instagram or plan your night out at ChenaultVineyards.com.
Back to the action here in Winchester, Kentucky, as Madison Central has built a 21-0 lead on the road over the GRC Cardinals. 8:16 to play, and another kickoff that goes into the end zone. Glad to see Peyton Gilboa starting to build that confidence back, Coach.
Yeah, he's a great player, man, and he's been steady. I think he's been steady Eddie as the years gone on. Any hiccups early on were operational that I could see. He had one block that was low from a distance, but one thing else I wanted to point out is the energy difference coming on the field this series is Central's sprinting out to the field. And GRC's walking now. Like there's you
kind of sluggish.
You can feel a different momentum between the two teams. The white jerseys and the black jerseys have a different energy about them right now.
Music will send a tailback in motion. He'll keep it himself and breaks a tackle from Liam Daly. Gets it across the 25 up to the 26-yard line. He'll gain 6 on a first down carry by Carter Music, the quarterback for the Cardinals. And they've had some great athletes come through here. Obviously, Jeremiah Bell that played in the NFL, but they've had some guys here recently that have made some big plays against Madison Central throughout the years as they come back to work on a 2nd down and 4. Music with a tailback to his left, in motion now to the right side.
Another quarterback power.
Same play. They run it to the opposite side, and another time of Music breaking a daily tackle before running into a big hit by Canterbury.
Canterbury is a hit stick waiting to happen. I've not seen that young man make a tackle yet where he's not depleting who he's hitting. Even on the slant earlier in the game, they got the first down, but he punished dude. Really like the energy. He hits like a linebacker from the corner position. That's a cover, too, so he was squatted right there, and he just beat the receiver. But same play, they're motioning the back out of the backfield, faking the screen, running quarterback power, trying to get an extra guy in the box.
You got formation, a lot of guys lined up to the right side. Now fullback moves over to the left. Music will hand it off this way. McElwee Reader read it perfectly. And the tailback, it was Striker Davidson, got it to the 29-yard line. It'll be 4th and 1 for GRC, and down by 3 scores, Coach. I don't see him punting it away here.
Yeah, here you got to go for it. And something to note there is McElwee doesn't make the play because he had a double team driving him off the field. And, you know, that looks different to the stands than it really is. If he's being doubled, somebody else is not being blocked. Yeah. And that's the guy that makes the play right there. So him just commanding all of that attention is really good for Central, even though he's out of that play.
Watch for Music to run here. It's 4th and 1. They go empty backfield, 5 wide, trips right, 2 left, 4 Music. He'll keep it himself. Central read it well. Music made one man miss, has a first down and more. Finally taken down by Jeff Hairston as he got it across the 35 and to the 37-yard line. Carter Music just putting the team on his back as he did all the work. 3 different carries for him through these first 4 downs, and he will have a first down at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, that was completely him. There were multiple Central players unblocked there out of empty. D-end in, I couldn't tell who it was initially, had a chance to make the play for a loss in the backfield, just missed him.
That was Reader, number 15.
Okay.
Now back to their 2 receivers each way. Music looking around, now will step up. Again, on the run. Helmet comes off of Reader. There's a couple of flags that come in late as Music picks up another first down at near midfield. Actually got this into Indians territory.
It's going to be a personal foul on GRC. Reader's helmet came off. Technically, he's supposed to stop. He's chasing the play, so he's chasing the play, and then one of the linemen blocks him with his helmet off and hits him from the side. That's not something you see very often. So
they actually call this against Central.
They did, and it's because he kept himself involved in the play. So with him running in the play, he makes himself a live player when he's not allowed to in that scenario. Interesting that there wasn't a conversation about the kid that hit him as well. But technically, he has to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, Reader actually ran into the defender.
He was running the play down with his helmet off when he was hit.
Like a wild man.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to stop there.
So the Indians now giving it up to the 33-yard line. GRC will go into the Wildcat formation. It was Nestor who took the direct snap. A flag comes in, and this might be a false start or a hold. Let's see what they come over to. Maybe it's a legal formation, Coach. One of those 3.
Yeah.
I'll get one right eventually. It's a hold. So against the Cardinals.
There's a common theme on GRC's run game right now. They're trying to get an extra man. So Central is keeping 6 to 7 in the box at all times. Out of spread, they're keeping 6. Well, there's only 5 guys to block the 6 that are in the box. So the answer to that is that you get in the Wildcat, you have your running back be an additional blocker for the running back you're snapping to, or you motion a guy out, hope to pull a guy, and then quarterback run. They're trying to get numbers advantage. But you look right here, see how Central has 3 down and 3 backers in the box. So they're playing with a tight 5-6-man box.
Music will throw on 1st and 20. Lost a football, and Reader picked it up. Ball came back out. Reader had it in his hands for a moment. Cardinals somehow end up with it as Colton Johnson was also there. But it is a huge loss all the way back to the GRC 46-yard line. The Cardinals need to get to the Madison Central 23 to move the sticks. It's 2nd and a country mile.
It really is, man. And they've had 3rd and a country mile twice already in this game.
Music's been the only offense for the Cardinals. And now he's going to have a lot of time to throw. Let's see if the Indians bring a blitz here on what is an obvious passing down on 2nd and 30. Music does throw. Indians with some pressure off the edge. Music takes off, wrapped up, and brought down out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Carter Music, man, there was nobody open downfield. Great coverage, and the pressure provided by Lathan Cohair on that left side edge for the Indians defense. It's now 3rd and 30.
Yeah, very much a coverage scenario there. He had nowhere to go. Nice job by Cohair running him down. This is their third and extra long of the first half. You probably couldn't have much go worse for you in the first half as GRC has. I mean, Central's even put the ball on the turf twice and didn't come up with it. I mean, it's just not a lot going well for the Cardinals.
2 receivers each way for Music. He'll take the snap, looking near side, now throws. Ball was tipped up into the air. Daly almost picked it off, and it's William Thurman again. First game back for his senior season. Thurman making an immediate impact, knocked that one up in the air, and it's 4th and 30 for the Cardinals now.
That was it was the right read. He was throwing a curl route to the short side of the field. He had it. It was just late. The curl route set there, 1,000, 2,000, then the ball was thrown. You got to hit that route where he breaks the route. So it's just a little bit late of a read by the quarterback.
We'll see if Music punts again. He's punted it 3 times already in this contest. Was going to punt it here, ends up having to keep it and take off as he bobbled the snap. Was brought down by Will Snell, I believe. No, make that Mathis on the stop. So Mathis comes in to make the tackle and end the drive. A turnover on downs for the Cardinals, and the Indians will have the football in GRC territory at the 47-yard line. Central, coach, they scored a 51-yard touchdown, and on their last drive, don't even have to go that far now to get into the end zone again.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you one of my biggest pet peeves in a football game at any level, when you're going to play out of the gun, if you can't have great snaps, I mean, that's just like basic. And there's been several bad snaps on the GRC side tonight. That was a bad snap, put them in a bad position. They've got to get those snaps cleaned up.
So 1st and 10, as Carson Herbst takes a look at the clock. 3 seconds on the play clock. Got to get the play off. They do. Carson's going to throw. Compton wide open, but so is Lawson. And Christian will make the catch at the 36-yard line. But Quincy Compton had about 20 yards between him and any defender that was close by.
The problem is it was a backside route, and the pressure was coming from the left, so Herbst had to keep his eyes right. He didn't have time to look backside. He threw a good ball into some traffic there.
Carson now on the season, 12 of 24, 50% completion rate on the year for the junior quarterback, but not many opportunities.
100% tonight.
Carson, handoff Barnes. Corinthian spins off of one tackler and has it inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and a pair to pick up a first now for the Indians. 2nd and 2 as they just continue to work against this Cardinal defense. A 21-0 lead, 3:18 now to play in the second quarter.
I mean, I don't have a statistician with me tonight, but Central may have 300 yards offense in the first half, and they've only had 3rd down twice tonight, and once was third and short from the goal line.
They hand it off to Barnes again. Corinthian makes a one-man miss, cuts it back, and a first down all the way down to the 16-yard line. And that time, Coach, Herbst did a complete spin as they come out of the snap and put it right into that hip pocket of Corinthian Barnes on the handoff. The Cardinals need a timeout, and they take a timeout with 2:59 to play. They'll stop the clock, and we will step aside for a 30-second commercial break. We'll come back with Central threatening to add to an already 21-0 lead on WEKY.
We all have dreams. For some, it might be playing professional baseball like Keenan Wiley, former Madison Central baseball player, did. For others, maybe it's just dreaming of your forever home. Well, after a career of playing the game that he loved, now Keenan has another dream, helping you find that dream home. Check out the new development at Crutcher Pike Estates here in Richmond. Like Keenan Wiley Real Estate on Facebook, and let Keenan help guide you through the process of finding your dream home in Central Kentucky.
Back to the action here with the Cardinals of GRC calling a timeout, trying to stop the well-oiled machine, the Madison Central offense. And it'll be 1st and 10, Indians from the 17-yard line. Ball placed directly in the middle of the field right now as they split the hashes. And Central will come out of the huddle.
This has been a butt whooping in the first half. Like, I'm just going to be real. This is the most dominant. I mean, we were pretty dominant against Scott County.
Yeah.
This is completely different. There's okay, wide split over here on the right tends to be an option split.
Yeah, Carson keeps it, makes a man miss, and for the 4th time tonight,
Holding.
a flag might negate this one. A 17-yard touchdown run from Carson Herbst would have been his 4th of the game, but what we believe will be a hold will bring back the score. And, yeah, the offense can sense what it is. They'll bring it back as Carson, you talked about it, Coach. It was a read play, and Herbst made the right decision, kept it, made one man miss, and he, again, walked untouched into the end zone.
So coach's scheme going into these games, they sit there and go, okay, who can beat us? And it looks to me like they decide we're going to key on the fullback. We're going to make the quarterback beat us. But, in talking to Coach McPeak, they were worried about Herbst. They're like, we have to make him pitch. We can't let him give it to Barnes. We can't let him carry the football. Yeah. These guys have not accounted for the quarterback on the option tonight, and he is running all over the field.
So 1st and 12 for Central following the holding penalty. Carson sends Compton in motion. They'll run the pitch.
Speed option.
Yeah, Quincy had to go back and get the snap and tried to cut it back. Another flag comes in, and this one, I believe, going to be on Davion DeBruce. And, of course, it's a Quincy Compton touching the football with a penalty involved, as has been the case so many times this year. And Carson actually took a little spill himself. Both Herbst and Compton both falling on the turf. Carson's trying to walk it off, as is Quincy. And we'll see where they spot the football now. It was 1st and 12 from the 19-yard line. And now it'll be 1st down and 8 from the 16-yard line.
That was a load option. They all backs led, and it was a speed option with Herbst and the backside motion guy. And they had a lot of lead guys out there blocking for him. But, man, he took a shot on that. They accounted for the quarterback on that play. He took a shot.
They were listening to you.
That was a long pitch, too, which is good. It should be far away from the play.
They gave it to Barnes. Corinthian takes it down to just outside of the 10.
Seen a lot of triple option tonight. They're not having to do a lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of moving things around, a lot of just downhill triple option. That was a tight inside option, which is an outside veer play.
They moved the ball back a full yard outside of the 11-yard line. So 2nd down and 4. Madison Southern not in action tonight. They'll be back to work on the road next week against West Jessamine. 2nd down and 4. Davion DeBruce in motion. They'll give it to Barnes, left side. Corinthian, did he get across? No signal yet. There it is. Touchdown, Madison Central.
Good. I wanted to see him get in the end zone here tonight.
He deserved one. He's been carrying the load. Carson had done it 3 times. Now Barnes tacks on touchdown number 12 on the year for him. Corinthian Barnes, what a great performance here tonight as he gets his first score of the game. And the Indians now on top 27-0. And the PAT pending here. They'll swing the gate right side, as we've seen them do so many times throughout the history. Even under Mark Centers, they would do the swing and gate formation. Peyton Gilboa will attempt the PAT and try to make this a 4-touchdown and 4 extra point lead for Madison Central. Low snap again for Herbst. Able to take it, put it down, and Peyton Gilboa caps off another beautiful drive by the Indians. 28-0 on the road in Winchester. You've got us coming at you live on WEKY.
Hi, I'm Gwen from Gwen's Fine Jewelers, and we would love to invite you into our family-owned business. Select from our beautiful Valina designs, Carriza designs, or we can custom design your dream ring. Gwen's Fine Jewelers is your exclusive Kendra Scott boutique in Richmond. Special financing options available, on-site jewelry repair, and layaway. Find your dream ring at Gwen's. Gwen's Fine Jewelers, where dreams come true.
To some, it's just a boat. But to Jim, it's his escape from meetings, traffic, and the grind of daily life. He may not catch any keepers, but he wouldn't trade his day on the lake for anything in the world. That's why his boat is insured by Kentucky Farm Bureau. But it's not just Kentucky's Farm Bureau. It's Jim's Recharge the Battery Farm Bureau. My Farm Bureau.
David Mayo, John Rader, and Chris Hornsby with Kentucky Farm Bureau.
Peyton Gilboa kicking it away for the Indians. This one returned from the 1-yard line and being tackled near the 20. I don't know if he got all the way there. They're going to give him the 20-yard line as the return made by number 16 for GRC, Athias Morris, the junior. And the Cardinals have a lot of work to do, John Clark. And a quick score update. How about this? A 14-7 lead for Frederick Douglass over Bryan Station as the first half winds down there in Lexington. Kind of a surprising score, as we thought Douglass might be able to pull away in that one. But at the moment, the defender's keeping it close.
Yeah, that's definitely a surprising score. And on top of that, I mean, how they came out of last week, we came out humming here.
Yeah. Cardinals with music in the shotgun. They move a tailback left to right, and they'll keep it with music himself again on the quarterback keeper to the 25-yard line. He'll gain 5, maybe 6 on first down as the far side official does creep up to the 26-yard line. They give him that yard, so 2nd and 4 for the Cardinals. 1:15 to play in this first half from Winchester, Kentucky. GRC trailing at home to your Madison Central Indians 28-0. Pass out into the flat, and that one, ball tipped around. They will blow it dead as the Indians, Colton Johnson, Jeff Hairston, and
punishing him, huh?
Yeah, there were multiple defenders there on that play.
They act like they didn't see that ball bounce to him is what they did. They put a shot on him there to remind him they're right there if he catches that. Interesting just to see how much they're running with the quarterback. That last run play was a quarterback counter. They're trying to use some counter motion, which he had some room, but he's going to turn on those jets with the speed on defense that Central has right now.
So 3rd down and 4. And if the Cardinals don't pick up a first down here, Central has plenty of time to add to this lead as it is. Thurman gets in the backfield, and that is what William Thurman did so often last year. Indians have got to call a timeout. If we had got one, and we do. Central calls a timeout to stop the clock, and William Thurman, who did that so often last season, getting in the backfield and bringing down the ball carrier for a loss, does it on 3rd and 4 to force a 4th down and 10 for GRC. Central takes the timeout with 57 seconds left. And, Coach, the speed has really been the difference tonight between these two teams.
The speed and the physicality. I mean, it's just a much more physical football team in Central, and just the tempo at which they're playing. GRC is not prepared for this tempo. What'll be interesting here is 57 seconds left on the clock. They've got a chance to score, but they've got to put somebody back to catch this ball. They can't just play defense here and let this ball roll.
Yeah, you definitely want to try to put either Compton, DeBruce, or Hairston back to return.
Put him back there. Put Canterbury in front of him and just let him tee off on the first guy down the field, man.
Canterbury, so he is coming out to defend. We'll see if they do, or should they send anyone back, we'll see who it is.
I think you've got to right here. I don't know how you don't, even if you have to pull a linebacker. I mean, it's 4th and 10.
Yeah, nobody back, though, is higher. The deepest player back.
Quarterback's backing up. He took a slight step back there. This is going to be another kick. There's nobody deep.
They're going to throw. Music will step up. Plenty of time. And he will just chuck it up into the air, and that is picked off by Compton.
That's the guy you want to have it, isn't it?
Quincy's got blockers in front, including McElwee, and Compton will take it to the house.
No flags.
Indians, a pick 6 as Quincy Compton intercepts the pass near midfield.
What was that call?
I have never seen that before. We thought for sure he was going to punt it. Why in the world would they go for it
on 4th and 10 with 57 seconds left in the ball inside their 30?
And if you're Music, why just put it up for grabs there? There were 3 Indians defenders around the lone GRC player in the area. Man. The Indians pick it off and take it 50 yards for the touchdown by Quincy Compton. And I believe they'll go for 2 here, Coach, to try to get a running clock in play.
That was a head scratcher. That's a great play by Central. I mean, you've got every running back on the field except for Barnes back there in the secondary waiting for a play like that to happen. That's way worse than a punt.
There is an injured GRC player on the far sideline for the Cardinals. That's actually on the Central side of the field at the 24-yard line. Couldn't see what number it was, but the injured player at the moment, as the training staff checks on him, it's an orthopedic sports and physical therapy injury timeout. And again, if you have an injury yourself, if you've got one of those just nagging aches and pains, trust that staff over at Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapy. Their location in Richmond over on Keeneland. They'll do a great job of helping you get back in the game with expert advice, and you can work with someone one-on-one to get a treatment plan and get yourself ready to get back out there and move things along with Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapy. Visit osptky.com to find out more. And GRC's come unraveled, Coach. They've got players over here on the sideline beefing with coaches. They are just so upset with how this thing has played out. Madison Central has come in here and dominated this first half.
Yeah, I think it's got their attention. But this has been the most dominant game by far we've seen all year. I mean, it just it's gotten out of hand out here. What I love to see there on that return, no flags.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great sign because, there's guys running every which way, and he had a convoy blocking for him, so to not see a block in the back, to not see a hold was great there.
Cecil was the injured Cardinal who came off the field with some help from the training staff.
They are going to kick.
Yeah, Gilbo will kick the PAT.
Man, I still don't understand that call by GRC on 4th and 10 there.
Low snap, but again, Carson able to get it and put it up as Gilbo connects on the extra point. 35-0 Indians with 40 seconds to play in the first half on the road in Winchester. Indians dominant on WBKY.
Granite, marble, and quartz for any surface. Make a lifetime commitment you won't regret.
Nothing can save this blowout.
Famous last words.
Yeah, get in there. We're only down by 40.
You just can't lose with the Spicy Wings combo. Only at Lee's, famous for a reason.
Your Lee's Famous Recipe locations are proud supporters of our local Madison County High School sports teams. Have dinner before the game at Lee's Richmond, 1000 Center Drive, or swing by Lee's Berea, just off I-75 at exit 76.
Ball into the end zone on the Peyton Gilboa kickoff. So GRC with 7 seconds. Oh, they've agreed to run the clock, it looks like, Coach. Yeah, the two teams have agreed to run this clock. So the first half will come to an end with Madison Central dominating the first 24 minutes of play. The Indians, man, what a beautiful performance from start to finish here in this first half, as William Blair drives the golf cart from one side of the field to the other side of the field, and his team feeling pretty good about themselves as they head to the locker room with a 35-0 lead in their second district game of the season. We'll take a 3-minute commercial break ourselves, and when we come back, we'll break down all the first half stats and talk about the excellent play on both sides of the field by Madison Central, and we'll look around at some of the scores from the area as well on WEKY.
At Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, we make it our priority to deliver the gentle, compassionate care that you deserve from a dentist. Offering single-visit restoration on crowns, bridges, inlays, onlays, and veneers with CERAC. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry is equipped to handle all your dental needs, from surgical implant placement and restoration, teeth whitening, root canal therapy, and more. And we now have the Cone Beam 3D technology for taking scans of the jaw. For your next dental appointment, call Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry at 859-985-0201.
Are you tired of living with the pain and discomfort that comes with getting older? If you're like me, then sometimes just getting up can be a challenge. At Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapy in Richmond, their experts are here to help get you back in the game. Whether it's a sports injury, recovering from an accident, or just the aches and pains that come with age, they'll connect you with someone who can put together a personalized treatment plan and deliver long-lasting results. Visit osptky.com to get started, or go by and see former Madison Central graduate Heather Kleins.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a side of ranch.
When you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Jerry Goebel in Richmond today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At the Galaxy Bowling Center and Champions Bar and Grill, we have activities galore, including video games, bowling, pool, delicious food at Champions, plus karaoke and live entertainment 7 days a week. Enjoy the climate-controlled patio, watch NFL football, and your Kentucky Wildcats all season long. The Galaxy Bowling Center and Champions Bar and Grill, just off exit 87 at 1025 Amberley Way in Richmond.
Honor, integrity, excellence. When it comes to protecting your home, rely on the experts who have served our country. At VC Veterans Contracting, our mission is to make your home feel safe. Our customers constantly rate us 5 stars for our expertise and professionalism. Trust your roof to the veterans who served. Call VC Veterans Contracting today or scan the code on screen for a free quote. VC Veterans Contracting, your roof, our mission.
The constant changing of the weather in Kentucky can hit hard. That's why having Madison HVAC on your side is so important. Don't waste time. Schedule a maintenance check on your HVAC system and make sure it's ready to handle the constant changing of the weather that comes with living in Kentucky. Your comfort is their promise. Like Madison HVACR Inc. on Facebook or schedule your maintenance checkup at 859-625-1471.
Back to Winchester, Kentucky, as we bring it to you live on WEKY, and we appreciate those tuning in on the WBON TV Facebook audio stream. Not permitted to do video here tonight, and if you're listening, you haven't really missed much from GRC, but Madison Central, a dominant performance, 3 rushing touchdowns from Carson Herbst, 2 one-yard quarterback sneaks, and a 51-yard quarterback run on the option play where he kept it himself. And then we had a Corinthian Barnes touchdown run, and the half capped off by a 50-yard interception return touchdown by Quincy Compton as the Indians dominate the first half, coach, start to finish, and really in every facet of the game, special teams, offense, defense, line of scrimmage, you name it. Every facet of this ball game has gone Madison Central's way.
I mean, you can't make this up. It's they've had 2 third downs in the first half, and one was a 3rd and goal from the 2. GRC has had third downs 4 times, and twice it was between 7 and 10 yards, and twice over 13 yards. I mean, you can't script a game better.
Yeah.
And you've got explosive guys on GRC's side that are averaging 10 yards a carry, but they've been non-existent tonight. So this has been a very, very dominant half by the Indians. You always wonder how your team's going to respond after a game like last week, and I think we got that answer this evening.
Yeah, and I think the most impressive thing that we've seen tonight is the execution. And, the first 2 plays of the game, Central gets the opening kickoff. They begin the drive at like their 22-yard line or whatever, but you had a handoff to Quincy Compton on the very first play of the game. He fumbled. You lose 5 yards.
Yep.
And then the very next play, it's Carson Herbst who takes the snap, and then he fumbles. So 2 plays in, we've had 2 fumbles and been able to recover both of them. Obviously, that's a big deal. You have the pitch out to Davion DeBruce on the very next play, and I said it was going to be a big Davion DeBruce game. He has looked good. He's had 2 carries for about 50-plus yards, but it has been dominant in every position. No matter what has gone on tonight, it has gone the Madison Central Indians' way. And at the moment, at the half, it's 35-0 Central on top. The defense has played well. We'll talk about that. And so good to see William Thurman back out there tonight. His first game back here, the senior making an impact, had a tackle for loss and a sack. Out there, had a tipped pass that was almost picked off. So he's coming in and making an immediate impact. And one of the things that we talked about, Coach, there before in the timeout between the quarter ending and coming back from the break, was this might be the deepest Madison Central team that I've ever been. I mean, I've been on the call since 2015, and I've never seen a team be deep enough. I mean, they've got 6 or 7 different guys they can rotate in there on the defensive line. We've seen that times this year. Carson Herbst back there playing safety. Haven't seen that in 2 weeks. And the one time he did play safety, he had 2 interceptions. They just continue to sprinkle in athletes all over the field, and they do not miss a beat when they do it. At the moment, a big 35-0 lead over GRC. We'll take another 3-minute commercial break. When we come back, we'll look at some of those scores from across the region. A big one in Lexington between the other 2 schools in this district, Bryan Station and Douglas. Will give you that score and more when we come back on WEKY.
Pruitt & Sons Auctioneers have over 24 years experience in the auction industry. Whether you're selling real estate, personal property, or liquidating your assets, Pruitt & Sons can help take your property to auction and walk you through the process. Serving all over Central Kentucky, visit PruittAuctioneers.com. And remember, Angela Pruitt for all your real estate needs as well.
When life gets complicated, you need someone who understands. Since 2003, Blevins Law has navigated real estate closings, wills, estates, car accidents, and personal injury cases with care and clarity. If your family has experienced death or injury, make Blevins your first call.
Blevins Law. Compassionate, reliable, real. Call 859-985-5410 to hire Blevins Law for the win. Office is located at 400 Richmond Road, North Berea, or search blevinslaw.net to contact them today. Gillum Sports Lounge isn't just a place for good food and hospitality. It's about gathering with family and friends, satisfying those taste buds, and cheering on your favorite team. You can't go wrong with one of their delicious burgers, salads, pizzas, or one of their many appetizers. Order online or stop in and see for yourself why Gillum Sports Lounge has been a staple in Richmond for almost 20 years. Located inside the Richmond Mall. Gillum Sports Lounge. Like them on Facebook to see more.
Bills don't care when payday is. But with CVNB's new checking account, you access your paycheck up to 2 days early, giving you faster access to your money when it matters most. Cover rent, buy groceries, pay your bills. Skip the stress before payday even hits. Open your account today at cvnb.com or visit your local CVNB branch. CVNB. Think better.
It's that time of year when we are day and night driving with our kids all over. Your car never stops. At Amco Transmissions, we make sure to keep you rolling. We have the latest technology, certified technicians, and longest warranty to keep your vehicles running strong. We specialize in all foreign and domestic transmissions, drivetrain, or just general maintenance. Did you know at Amco, the average customer saves $1,800 in comparison to the dealer? And Amco has a longer warranty. Come see us at Amco Transmission for the best service and the cheapest prices around. AA MCO.
Cars of Kentucky is a proud sponsor of Eastern Kentucky University Athletics. In Richmond, we bleed maroon. Go Colonels. And when you're ready for your next pre-owned automobile, swing on over to Cars of Kentucky. Cars of Kentucky has vehicles starting at $3,000 and up, so we literally have something for every budget. 356 Big Hill Avenue in Richmond, or check them out, carsofkentucky.com. Let's go Colonels!
Back here in Winchester is Madison Central awaiting the start of the second half against GRC. And Coach, the Indians not even going into the locker room for this halftime break.
If I had a half like that, I wouldn't leave the field either, man. Like they're walking in magic dust out there. I mean, just like, you know, like golf, everybody like chases that hole in one, the perfect game, you know. They've played an unbelievable first half. Everything, I mean, they've put the ball on the turf the first 2 plays of the game. Yeah. Since then, nothing has happened that wasn't exactly the way you draw it up on the chalkboard. They've got to be ecstatic with it. I mean, this is as dominant of a performance in 6A I've seen in a very long time.
Looking at some scores from around the area, the big one that we've been paying attention to, Frederick Douglass Bryan Station just went final, and Frederick Douglass winning 27-10 over the defenders of Bryan Station. So the Douglass Broncos now 2-0 in district play. Bryan Station falls to 1-1. They'll come to Richmond next week. Ryle leading Great Crossing 14-0, now 21-14, 2:05 to play in the first half there. Ryle with a 21-14 lead. Woodford County and Scott County, another game that's drawing some interest. Woodford County, a 29-28 lead at the half over the Cardinals of Scott County. So another big score there. And you said it was a good one between Pulaski County and North Laurel as well. That's a team that the Indians lost too early on in the year, and they're losing right now to Pulaski County.
Yeah, I saw 29-14 at halftime. I think McCorder had a big 60-yard touchdown in the first half. Pulaski's got to be decent defensively if they're bottling that young man up. I thought he was one of the better players we've seen individually this year.
Yeah, Indians doing a good job here on the road themselves, trying to get their first win of the season in district play after losing to Frederick Douglass last week, and well on their way to doing so. Again, a running clock the rest of the way with the Indians on top 35-0 at the half. We'll close things out here and get you ready for the second half when we come back. Don't go anywhere, folks. Indians trying to close out a district victory, and we'll close down all the halftime statistics when we come back on WEKY.
When it comes to auto service, two things are important: experience and hometown service. Hall & Sons Auto Care is starting their 20th year in business in Richmond. That's 20 years locally owned and operated. Hall & Sons Auto Care can take care of you from preventative maintenance to major engine repair. Hall & Sons Auto Care is also carrying BEW towing products as well as rough country suspension and lift kits. Give us a chance to be your auto repair shop. Visit us at 209 North Keeneland Drive in Richmond.
Cars break down. Tires go flat. Check engine lights show up at the worst possible time. Don't break the bank fixing your car when ABR Auto Recyclers has you covered. They have good used tires, a huge selection of parts, and they can get a large selection of aftermarket parts shipped overnight. They're just a quick drive down 4 Mile, and you can't miss them on Box Ankle Road. You can save 50 to 75% off retail prices. Go see Scott and the gang or check them out online at abrautorecyclers.net.
We would like to invite you to join our family at Bishop's Small Engine Repair.
Outdoor Power has become a family tradition, with 3 generations here bringing you years of experience.
We will help you find the best selection of outdoor power equipment from Cub Cadet, Grasshopper, DeWalt, Makita, Echo, Shindawa, and now Steel in our Georgetown store.
Or bring your equipment into our service department. We will keep it running for years to come.
And as with all families, we have to keep Mama happy. So come on in and see us at Bishop's Small Engine Repair in Richmond and in Georgetown.
In Richmond, tradition runs deep. From campus classroom to dealership showroom.
We've got drive and heart because we're part of the institutions that built this town.
But it's about more than just hometown pride. It's about being a part of a winning tradition.
We're powered by pride, by loyalty, and by a tradition that never quits. Just like Jack Burford Chevrolet and EKU football.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Back in Winchester as we close out the halftime festivities with the marching band of GRC out there doing a great job. State competition is next weekend for the bands here in the state. So obviously trying to get all the fine tuning they can do between now and then. Madison Central heard them out there practicing on the football field, their band out there practicing on the football field before we left to come here to Winchester. So you can just tell that that time is near, and it's also, postseason's right around the corner, Coach. And I know this is the first year doing the games with us, but this season has absolutely flown by. It's hard to believe we're already in the 8th game of the year.
I didn't realize we are close to the end of the season. You're exactly right. It goes faster when you're calling games on Friday night than when you're actually coaching games on Friday night. The season goes faster this way because we didn't have the whole preseason they had, the whole summer and the whole winter and all those other things.
But you look at what the Indians have done tonight. Obviously, it's been domination. We heard the GRC radio crew with their stats. They said unofficially 301 yards of offense for Central.
I thought we were pushing 300 on that last
that's just
drive.
one pass. Lawson caught the only pass
I
of the
think
game.
they said 290 rushing.
So it's been a really impressive showing on both sides of the football. And in the 30th meeting between these two schools, so the KHSAA website goes back to 1998. So since 98, this is the 30th meeting. GRC has won 8 times in those 29 games thus far. And Central, with a running clock the rest of the way, obviously going to pull away and try to close this one out. And it's cool seeing the team right now as they gather around the golf cart and Coach William Blair just giving the final instructions before they head into the third quarter. But just a dominating performance. And I feel like if you're Central, you don't want to take your foot off the gas, but you also got to keep in mind we're got Bryan Station and St. X to close out the year. You want to get out of this game clean with no injuries. Thankfully, that's not been an issue so far this year. But you've got to get ready for Bryan Station next week. Maybe play another series or two with your starters, and then just get ready for a senior night festivities next week.
Yeah, insult to injury, right? You're whooping a team 35-0 by half on their senior night, and then you drive your golf cart out on their field. They can't love that. No, they really look like the dominant team right now. If they continue to progress like this, Central's really putting themselves in position to be a front runner in the playoffs. They really are. This team tonight wins against Douglas.
Yeah.
They look different tonight. They've got more snap. The offense is way more controlled. It's a lot smoother. They look really good tonight. The defense, I don't know how many yards GRC has, but it can't be more than 20.
Yeah.
Do they have 20 yards offense?
I thought they said right around 26.
Okay.
Again, with no official stats up here in the box, it's hard to keep it. But, if you factor in the yards that they've lost,
they get a 45-yard touchdown and interception, too, which doesn't factor into that.
All those things coming into play, it has just been domination from start to finish by this Madison Central unit here this evening. This is a GRC team that last year, they didn't have the best regular season, but they did win a playoff game, lost to Douglas in the postseason. And you look at this district compared to the district that's got Lafayette, Henry Clay, Tates Creek, and who's the fourth one I'm missing? Dunbar. Those 4 teams. I would think right now, with the way things look, whoever we face from our side, Central, Douglas, GRC, and Bryan Station, we're all probably going to be favored. At the moment, it looks like GRC would be the number 4 team in our district and would face most likely Tates Creek. But it's been very, very interesting as we've seen last year. All 4 of the teams from our district win in the first round and play each other in the second round. Central knocking off Station.
I could see that being the case.
I could see that
year.
being exactly, and we're not that far away from it. But this GRC team, they've got to play much better than they played tonight if they want to win a playoff game again this season.
They just can't get in a rhythm on offense. They're just 3 and out. There's no rhythm. They're in 3rd and 22. They're in 3rd and 15. I can't tell. Are they I know statistically they're a run-first team, but I mean, just watching this game, I have no feel for what they are.
Well, it's like as soon as they got down by 2 scores, they just completely gave up on what they're good at. It was just running the football.
Right.
And they said, well, we got to make a play, try to find a way to get back in this ball game. And as soon as they had to punt again, down by 2 scores, it was over, and Central's never looked back. This is the same GRC football team that they did get blew out by Scott County, but they blew out Henry Clay. They kept it close with St. Francis de Sales out of Ohio. They blew out West Jessamine. They beat Henderson County. So they've got some impressive wins on their schedule. But that 3-point loss to Bryan Station, who for a while kept it close with Douglas, you got to wonder, is this the kind of team, is this the kind of game that could just put your season into a downward spiral?
Well, I think just kind of researching them last week going into Station, I look back at their schedule. I didn't think they were as good as their record with some of the opponents they've had, but I thought the Station game surprised me. I thought they'd get beat by 14-21 from Station. But Station obviously still got some firepower because Station held Douglas at halftime, so we're going to have to start fast against Station next week. But let's get through this game first, obviously. But, this game is – I mean, I don't know if there's any way on the radio to make it visible how lopsided the first half of this game really truly was.
Well, when you're coaching a game like this,
terrible feeling.
How do you for Central side? Like, what do you do here in this third quarter? I mean, again, you don't want to get anybody hurt, but what's the message to the team?
Well, I like playing young guys in these scenarios, especially when going into playoffs. Excuse me. You've also got some guys out here that are fresh and new playing. And I don't like to overdo them in a game like this, but they may need some conditioning.
Yeah.
Then you've got guys like, we haven't seen it all tonight on defense. We haven't seen Wiley Mathis. We haven't seen Inchu. Some guys that have been starting and playing a ton. We haven't seen Lawson on defense. So I like sprinkling guys in that have already got a ton of experience early in the year to keep them playing well on Friday nights.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing I'd like to see too, which we haven't seen it tonight. We haven't seen Peyton Gilboa punt. He's not been a busy man this year, really. I mean,
one other thing we've not seen, and I was always leery of stuff like this, going into playoffs, the backup quarterback has not played one snap this season. Yeah. And I hated that feeling that first snap could come in the playoffs.
Yeah.
To me, Herbst has 3 touchdowns, a 4th one called back in this game. I'm probably playing my backup in the second half just to get him the experience he needs.
Yeah, I believe in that Connor game, they had, and I think maybe against Scott County they brought somebody in, but it was with the JV team. It wasn't with the starters.
Like, what if? You've always got to think. I was always a guy that I was always planning and preparing, hoping for the best, positive-minded, but I lived in worst-case scenario when it came to game planning. What's the worst-case scenario? For Central, with the way their offense moves right now with that triple, its quarterback goes down.
Yeah.
So who's the next? I don't even know who he is. And we haven't missed a game or a snap this season.
Before the season, I was told Carter Heyer and maybe the Kinley kid could play some quarterback. Kinley played some quarterback in middle school. But last year it was Liam Daly who got a start in the regular season. But they've got some different guys. And, again, with the way they run their offense, they don't throw it a ton. If you can just get somebody to kind of run with the football and just hand it off, they'd be okay. But if you get into a game where you're down and you've got to throw the football, I don't know who that guy could be.
Live reps of reading the triple is vital for a quarterback, and it is different doing that in JV. It's different doing that in practice. His backups had no Friday night live reps, and that, to me, I'm getting him in the game, and I'm running triple the whole second half just to give him looks at those reads. Because it's there.
Yeah.
If he makes the right reads, they're still going to move the ball really well. And I'd play him with my ones.
Yeah, agreed. At least for a couple of series.
Yep.
So Peyton Gilboa will kick things off to start the third quarter. We appreciate you tuning us in here on WEKY. Our producer tonight, Gage Hill, back at the studio, controlling all of the things for us as we come at you live for the start of the third quarter and a running clock the rest of the way tonight.
This half is going to go really fast. Running clock goes super quick when you're running the ball, too.
A timeout and an injury are the only two things that will stop it here in this second half. And the starters will come out defensively. You look out there, you got Reeder. We've got Mathis out there at nose tackle. McElwee, Thurman Thomas, or William Thurman is in there, excuse me. You got Hairston, Canterbury, Compton's out there, Kinley. So they've got their starters out there defensively to start the third quarter. And a botched snap from Music, who is hit and wrapped up immediately. It's Johnson coming in to make the stop.
Man, you can't make this up for GRC right now. And that was Nestor actually in a bit of a wildcat scenario.
Oh, yeah, Music's not even in the game right now.
It's unexcusable to have bad snaps like this at this point in a 6A program.
Yeah, Nestor taking the direct snap. He'll hand it off and then look to throw. He'll just chuck it up. Hairston's there defending, and that ball incomplete, nowhere near the intended target. And, again, I didn't see Music go down with an injury, but he's over here on the sidelines next to the coach.
Well, looking at them in the past few games, they've played some different quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Braylon Nestor, who's their leading rusher, has also thrown 13 pass attempts this season for 72 yards. So, and those aren't halfback passes, which, by the way, something I was thinking at halftime with Central, just the way they run the ball, they've got to get a halfback pass in going into playoffs. They just get so much pressure. They're letting them throw it, aren't they?
Man, Nestor just threw that one 15 yards past the intended target, and it's 4th and 17.
Wow.
For GRC on this opening drive offensively.
Well, they're 0 for 3 on third down from 11-plus yards tonight. Central's defense has been significantly better on third down tonight than we've been all season. We've held them on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. GRC's 1 of 5 on third down tonight.
Yeah, and Music was the only one that picked up a third down when he ran for it.
Yeah, he took off on that one.
So punting is Wyatt Jackson.
Legit punt formation. Here we go.
Yeah, Hairston and Compton back to return.
Rolls it back to him.
Not the best snap and not the best punt either.
He's got a shot that. Okay.
Yeah, where'd that one go? It went out of bounds on the far side.
That's a great job by Hairston
He
flanking everybody. He had 9 guys on him right there.
So the Indians will come out offensively. Again, a 35-0 lead. Clock running the rest of the way. 8:50 left to play in this third quarter. They'll spot the football at the Cardinals' 29-yard line as Carson Herbst will go up under center, and the Indians will look to add salt into the Cardinals' wound. Yeah, play clock will wind all the way down. Obviously, Central just trying to get out of here with no injuries. A handoff to Barnes. Corinthian will go all the way in for 6. One play, 6 more points on the board, a 29-yard touchdown run. And, Coach, I'll be honest with you, GRC has given up.
Yeah, I mean, there was nobody even coming off the ball in that play. Like, they're just going to take it to the house. That's you hate to see that. You hate to see that for a group of kids. This has been a very lopsided game, but if it's going to be like that, they just got to be careful to make sure Central doesn't get somebody hurt.
Yeah.
When you get a lot of guys from GRC standing around doing nothing on that play.
41-0 as Gilboa will come on for the extra point. Barnes, his second rushing score of the night and touchdown number 13 on the season. PAT is up, and the kick is good. Central, man, dominating continues. They run one play here in the third quarter and tack on 7 more points. It's 42-0 on the road in Winchester. We'll be right back on WEKY.
You've heard the name Chenault Vineyards, but what do you know about it? Chenault Vineyards is a place for the community to enjoy. Central Kentucky's premier event and wedding destination with 5 event venues, full-service catering, over 13 varieties of wine, live music entertainment, seasonal food options, weekly themed Wednesday night out and girls night out, trivia, murder mystery date nights, and free yoga on the point with beautiful views. Everyone can find something to do at Chenault Vineyards. Want to know more? Follow them on Facebook and Instagram or plan your night out at ChenaultVineyards.com.
We all have dreams. For some, it might be playing professional baseball like Keenan Wiley, former Madison Central baseball player, did. For others, maybe it's just dreaming of your forever home. Well, after a career of playing the game that he loved, now Keenan has another dream, helping you find that dream home. Check out the new development at Crutcher Pike Estates here in Richmond. Like Keenan Wiley Real Estate on Facebook, and let Keenan help guide you through the process of finding your dream home in Central Kentucky.
Peyton Gilboa with the kickoff, and as Peyton Gilboa does, He puts it into the end zone for a touchback.
Why never not kick deep with him?
Yeah.
I just don't know. Unless you think you have a turnover scenario. He's fantastic. What a weapon that young man is.
So Central, with this big 42-0 lead, clock continues to run, 7.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. From Winchester, Kentucky, John Clark, Michael Watkins here with you. Madison Central on the call, or on the big dominant performance tonight on the road, as Nestor still in there at quarterback. They'll run the end around, and the Indians defense, again, flying to the football. It was Daly in there that stopped the running back initially. Colton Johnson comes in to help bring him down.
I've run a similar offense to this in the past. It's a lot of timing. When you're in the gun and you're doing RPOs like this, timing's everything, and their snaps continue to be high, low, all over the place. It just wrecks the timing of the offense. Quarterback run out of empty. This has been the only place they've found any running room.
Compton comes in.
Huge hit.
A little forearm shiver. I thought I saw a flag. It might have just been the gloves. We got to get Erica to take care of you, sir.
I know. It's just this drainage, man. This temperature change. I woke up with all this drainage this morning. I don't typically get sick, but I'll get sinuses occasionally. They're going to live in empty and run some Wildcat, it looks like, here for GRC. Another RPO.
They'll throw it out in the flat to Morris. He'll move the sticks at the moment. First down for GRC. Just their second first down.
I was going to ask that. That's not many first downs tonight.
To the 39 or to the 34-yard line, so they will move the sticks.
Central still has a lot of starters out there. Mostly Gavin Kinley's coming at safety, I've noticed. But outside of that, I don't see a lot of subs. What a play by Hairston.
Jeff read that one perfectly, able to stand up the receiver for a loss of 3 back to the 31-yard line. So second down and 13 coming up for GRC.
Yeah, we're starting to see some guys rotate in. Jaden Atkins is in at the nose right now. It's the first time I've seen him in this evening at the nose position. In at defensive end is Jeremy Allen in at defensive end for Central.
2 receivers each way for Nestor. They'll fake it here. They'll go deep, and that one thrown out of bounds. I like the play call there, Coach. But this is stuff they weren't doing with Music, who seemed to be a pretty accurate thrower of the football. They've definitely ran more routes with these receivers and tried to mix things up here in the third quarter with Nestor throwing. Didn't really give Music a chance with this type of play calling. And Nestor's got a 3rd and 13 he'll face now coming out of the break.
Well, and they're setting up like they're throwing the slip screen, and then they set up the pump and go on it, but they do it 2 plays in a row. And that's what I'm like about. I like coming back to it in 3 or 4 plays. I'm not a fan of that repetitive back-to-back-to-back because kids are smarter to that than people realize.
Man in motion, and the quarterback kept it, Nestor, and Brady Reeder was right there.
Tossed it.
Whether he handed it off or kept it, it didn't matter. Reeder was going to bring the ball carrier down. Nestor decided to keep it, and Reeder was right there in his face to bring him down back at the 25-yard line for a 4th and 17.
Yeah, and Wiley Mathis is back in an outside linebacker. He's been playing a lot of nose, and he's playing some outside linebacker now. So another sophomore that they're moving around. Him and Bronson Parker look to be kind of plug-and-play type guys, which is really encouraging for the future for them.
So 4th down and long, the Cardinals will have to punt, and it's Hairston and Compton again near midfield awaiting the punt from Jackson. Again, it'll roll up into him, able to pick it up and get rid of it. This one a much better punt. And it'll take a Cardinals bounce, then go out of bounds directly at the 45, and the Indians take over there.
Terrible snap. 2 times
Yeah, 2 times in a row.
You can see why they don't punt now.
So at the 45, the Indians offense will come back out onto the field. We'll see Quincy Compton in the starting offensive line, Camden Burke, Muncie, along with some of these other guys up front. And again, Coach, you've got Picatola up there up front, the junior. But Muncie and Burke have been the 2 main guys up front this year. You've also got Will Snell, who's played tremendous this season.
Donnie Gentry's done some really good stuff
Donnie
up there.
Gentry, Connor Greer's played well. So they've got a lot of guys they've mixed in on the offensive side as well. It's, I believe, Mathis that took the handoff there. Parker. No, it is Mathis.
No, it is Mathis. Good for that young man.
Yeah,
Picked up a good
Mathis.
9 yards.
And
okay, they gave him 5, but he looked like he rolled the 9.
They spotted at the 40, just shy of the 48-yard line. So it'll be second and a long 3, short 4 for the Indians. But Mathis, the younger brother of Bryant Mathis, who was so good at running back the last couple of seasons in the Madison Central uniform, now donning the maroon and white of EKU. And his little brother gets it here again, and Mathis breaking a long one. Still on his feet inside the 20. Mathis finally chased down from behind as he sets up Madison Central with a 1st and goal. And we'll see if that young man gets it one more time to try to give him his first high school varsity touchdown, Coach.
Yeah, notice we've got a sub in Tanner Milton on the offensive line, and him and I believe it was William Snell absolutely took the defensive end for a ride to the parking lot on that play. Really nice double team by those two. That Mathis ran right behind him.
They send DeBruce in motion. They'll give it to Mathis again. He'll get it down to the 5-yard line. So 2nd and goal from just outside of the 5. Indians looking to add more points to an already 42-0 lead here on the road in Winchester. It'll be 2nd and goal. And with 1:20 to play.
Tanner Milton's fired up out there and on the line, man. He's jacked up. Him and Snell are taking people for a ride again, and he's the big man's pumped.
Back to Mathis. Right up the gut. He got 3 down to the 2. It'll be 3rd and goal.
This is the third down of the game for Central, and 2 of them have been 3rd and goal from the 2.
Yeah, this Indians offense, I mean, and you looked at the GRC guys up front, they just don't have the size and the strength that Central does on that offensive line.
Yeah, there's a big difference. I noticed in warm-ups, a big difference in the bodies of the players, the hamstrings, the triceps, the shoulders. There's just a big difference in the physicality of the young men on the field.
Herbst again, DeBruce in motion, give it to Mathis, touchdown.
Let's go, Mathis. That's exciting.
Wiley Mathis, the sophomore, gets his first varsity touchdown in that young man's career. I would expect plenty of more, Coach. He looks good on that drive.
He does, man. And this is what I'm talking about, getting some of those young guys in there, letting them just feel the offense. I mean, there's a couple young cats here that are going to be really, really good players. Will we see a different quarterback tonight?
I don't know. Carson's, I mean, he's
if all he's doing is handing the ball
yeah.
off, why can't somebody else do that? It'd be interesting to see if that's the case.
33 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Kick or the extra point is up. Oh, Gilboa got taken out as he kicked the PAT. No flag came in.
How is there not a flag on there? They absolutely took out the kicker. I mean, the white hat's ready to go home too. That's as blatant of a personal foul roughing the kicker as I've ever seen. It wasn't a light hit either.
Extra point's good. Indians lead 49-0. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on WEKY.
Hi, I'm Gwen from Gwen's Fine Jewelers, and we would love to invite you into our family-owned business. Select from our beautiful Valina designs, Carriza designs, or we can custom design your dream ring. Gwen's Fine Jewelers is your exclusive Kendra Scott boutique in Richmond. Special financing options available, on-site jewelry repair, and layaway. Find your dream ring at Gwen's. Gwen's Fine Jewelers, where dreams come true.
To some, it's just a boat. But to Jim, it's his escape from meetings, traffic, and the grind of daily life. He may not catch any keepers, but he wouldn't trade his day on the lake for anything in the world. That's why his boat is insured by Kentucky Farm Bureau. But it's not just Kentucky's Farm Bureau. It's Jim's Recharge the Battery Farm Bureau. My Farm Bureau.
David Mayo, John Rader, and Chris Hornsby with Kentucky Farm Bureau.
Granite, marble, and quartz for any surface. Make a lifetime commitment you won't regret.
Nothing
can save this blowout.
Famous last words.
Yeah, get in there. We're only down by 40.
You just can't lose with the Spicy Wings combo. Only at Lee's, famous for a reason.
Your Lee's Famous Recipe locations are proud supporters of our local Madison County high school sports teams. Have dinner before the game at Lee's Richmond, 1000 Center Drive, or swing by Lee's Berea, just off I-75 at exit 76.
Madison Central up 49-0, and getting to see some of the more of these younger guys come into the ball game. William Thurman still staying in. Coach, you talked about that. A player first game back, already making an impact. One of these senior guys they're getting back, and he's out there trying to get some more conditioning in.
Yeah, a lot of subs in right now. You got a lot of young guys playing, which is good to see.
Music is back in there at quarterback. He'll stiff arm Colton Johnson and then be shoved out by Thurman as he's ran out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 as the Indians pull away here in this fourth quarter. A running clock, and John Clark along with Michael Watkins. What a great night for high school football in Winchester. We're finally starting to see that fall weather roll around, Coach. And it's been some beautiful weather this past week in Richmond.
It really has, man. It's been a nice week. I think we're supposed to get a little rain tomorrow, and then I think it cools off next week from what I'm seeing. So maybe a cold game next Friday night.
Music will fake the handoff, keep it himself, and get it across the 25 up to the 26. So we gained 6 yards. 3rd down and 4 for the Cardinals, as now under 11 minutes to play in the fourth quarter.
Too many subs to call out probably defensively right now, but you've got Johnson still in the field, Daly still on the field, kind of policing everything from the Mike linebacker position.
Yeah, Carter Heyer's still in there as well.
Heyer's still in there. Everybody else is pretty much subbed at this point.
And off to Nestor, and he's going to be close to a first down. Might have gotten it.
It was a nice initial wrap by Wiley Mathis before Johnson finished him off.
It got the first down to the 32, so 1st and 10, Cardinals.
Mathis having a game.
He is. Well, and you talked about, guys like Mathis and Parker that, if you look at who you're giving the football to, there might be option number 5 or 6, but they're making impact plays. And that's talks
depth.
About the depth of this team.
Yeah, they've never had depth like that here that I've seen either. It's usually always been the one guys were pretty good, but the 2s were a pretty big drop-off, and they're really building good depth.
Music all day to throw. He'll go deep. And the defender falls down, but the receiver, I don't know if he made that catch, Coach. The referee running down the sideline saying incomplete. He did have a foot out of bounds when he made the catch, and it was number 5. That is Leval that had the pass called incomplete. Yeah, the coach right there telling him he did have 1 foot out of bounds when he made that grab.
That young man keeps chirping at the officials. He's going to get a penalty too here. So, in coverage was a freshman there. Jacob Strange, freshman out there.
Yep.
Young man fell down. You hate to see that for a young guy. He was in coverage. I'll tell you, did something nice there was Carter Heyer, because it was a scramble drill. He was out in the flat, and when the quarterback rolled out, the shallow receiver runs deep, and Heyer ran with him, which is kind of a high-level IQ type of thing that he did there that you don't always see from a linebacker. So that was good to see Heyer run with him.
They actually called a hold against GRC on the play. So they'll spot the football back at the 27-yard line. So 2nd down and 15 for GRC. 8:43 left to play. Music. Again, looking back to throw. Going deep. He's got a man. That pass is going to be hauled in.
Caught twice.
It was caught twice by number 5. That is Leval again. Had the catch called incomplete on the previous play. This time they go right back to him, and he takes it all the way down to the Madison Central 26-yard line. And then this is where, as a starting defensive player, you can get upset. You got this shutout being pitched right now, and you'd love to see these young guys preserve it. But GRC now with some momentum and threatening here under 8 minutes to play.
Well, you've got a seasoned varsity guy running routes out here against a freshman, but I really like the –
Picked off! The pass is picked off, and it's Hire who makes the interception at the 5-yard line, Coach.
He does some smart stuff in coverage. That was the same deal again. Quarterback rolled out. Kid changed his route from shallow to deep. Hire ran with him. That's a great play by that young man. You don't see that a lot from linebackers.
No. And Music throws his second interception of the game. 7:35 to play. The clock still ticking, and the Indians will try to run this one all the way down to zeros across the board and pick up a huge district win for the first time since 2023.
Yeah, do you expect to see some of that with freshmen out on the field? But how great is it for them to get that experience? Yeah. That's what keeps those kids showing up in the winter and coming back in the spring. You know, they need those experiences. I'm glad to see they've got some young guys on the field right now.
Timeout, GRC. We'll take a 30-second commercial break, and we'll be right back on WBKY.
At Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, we make it our priority to deliver the gentle, compassionate care that you deserve from a dentist. Offering single-visit restoration on crowns, bridges, inlays, onlays, and veneers with CERAC. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry is equipped to handle all your dental needs, from surgical implant placement and restoration, teeth whitening, root canal therapy, and more. And we now have the Cone Beam 3D technology for taking scans of the jaw. For your next dental appointment, call Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry at 859-985-0201.
Come back to the action here with Madison Central. New quarterback in the game is Gavin Jones, the JV quarterback, and he'll hand it off for a couple of yards.
This is what I was waiting for. Let's see if this young man can take it 90.
7, you got a long way to go. Yeah, you said it. But listen, we saw Mathis carrying the load on that last drive. He had a couple of long runs that set up that touchdown score, the first of his varsity career. And with 6:43 left to play, this clock just continuing to tick down. Madison Central, Bryan Station, and will both be 1-1 when they meet up next week in Richmond. And the winner of that game will guarantee themselves a home playoff game in the first round of the postseason. Jones hands it off. Nowhere to go for the ball carrier. Went the opposite direction as a host of GRC tacklers bring down number 17. It was Hollingsworth.
Yeah, this is where you got a mix of varsity guys, JV guys, a little bit of everybody on the field. So always hard to tell what will happen in scenarios like this. The hard part here is, like, say you have to punt. You yell punt team, but half your starters are sitting on the bench hanging out, and they've got to get out there for punt team. So keeping everybody organized to actually do special teams in these scenarios is a little harder with high school kids than you might realize.
So it'll be 3rd down and 9. Jones will go up under center, and they'll hand it off right up the gut, bouncing off tacklers, and carrying to finish. Hollingsworth, man, has a first down, and he broke a pair of tackles on that play, Coach. A nice run, not a first down. They are going to say he's a yard short, so it will be 4th and 1. So
that wasn't the best spot, was it?
No, I thought he had it too.
Yeah. Might have been some home cooking right there.
So the junior who had the carry there broke a couple of tackles, made a nice play. It looks as if Central's going to go for it here on 4th and 1. I mean, why not?
Might as well, yeah. Let these guys play. Plus, literally trying to get your punt team out there right now would be really hard to do. Half these guys are over here on the sideline with their helmets off talking. Like, it's tough to do, man. And they want to watch these young guys play some too.
Take the snap. Hollingsworth has the first down. And it'll move the sticks. Went back to that little fullback dive, and
the big boy Tanner Milton, though, he's putting people on their backs, man. He sees an opportunity here to show the coaches he wants to play a little bit.
And you know, the future of this offensive line, and we've talked about it. They've got a lot of guys that they will lose after this year.
Yeah.
But you've got guys you can be excited about, like Ficatola. You've got Greer. You've also talked about the guy that's Milton out there playing well right now. They've got some guys they can. Donovan Gentry's just a sophomore.
Yeah, he's a really good player for a sophomore. I really like his upside.
Up under center. Handoff, and a big hole on the far side. Good chase down tackle by GRC as they hand the football off on that far side, and the Indians gain about 7 up to the 25-yard line, 2nd down and 3. And I believe that was number 20, which I don't have on my roster, Coach.
Nick Shanks.
Nick Shanks, okay.
Freshman. Yeah. Yeah, we're having to dig deep into the bag of the KHSA roster right now, which is good. It's good to see these guys get some. I'll never forget, I got one snap as a freshman, and I'll never forget it, man. It was just, it's crazy how you never forget that varsity play when you're a freshman.
They go back to Shanks, and he'll pick up a 1st down. Got 5 up to the 30-yard line, and with 3:10 to play, the Indians just trying to continue to move these chains, let this clock continue to run. Obviously, it'll run no matter what happens, but you want to make sure that you're still in possession as this thing hits all zeros across the board and preserve this shutout of 49-0. Would be the 2nd time this year that the Indians have shut out an opponent. Had a 43-0 win over Connor, and now a 49-0 lead over GRC here on the road. They go right back to the ground, obviously, and another nice run. Man, these guys doing a good job of carrying the load. These young guys coming in and just continuing to gain yardage. It looked like that might have been Mathis. Nope, that was number 17. It's Collingsworth again on the carry. He got a gain of 8, just shy of the 38-yard line.
Yeah, he's listed as a wide receiver free safety on the KHSA roster, but I think you're better off being a back in this system anyway than a wide receiver, so I think he probably welcomed the transition. They have huddled here in the second half, which was noticeable. The first half, Central did not huddle, I don't believe, once.
No, 2nd down and 2, minute 47 to play. Running it near side, and that's the speedster, Estel Boyd. And he'll get it all the way across midfield and down to the 49-yard line. So Estel Boyd, a young player that they're all excited about, the future of that young man.
If he
getting in on the action.
If he reads that block right and cuts that vertical instead of running out, he's probably gone. He stretches to the sideline. That's a young guy, and that's why you got to let these guys play, because you get that on film, and you get a chance to watch that with them and let them see you picked up an extra 10, but if you stick your foot in the ground here, you're probably hitting your head on the goalpost. So that's what's the value of just getting these guys to see stuff from the end zone perspective.
Probably 2 more snaps from here in Winchester, and we'll wrap things up and head back to RKY.
I mean, I'm guessing well over 400 yards of offense tonight, right? Probably pushing 5.
They got another 50 right here on this
probably
drive.
Pushing 500 yards of offense tonight for Madison Central. 1 pass.
Yeah.
1 pass for what, 12?
11 or 12 with Lawson.
Everything else has been on the ground. Been a very, very dominant
and
performance.
then 1 pass, Lawson, he had multiple guys to throw it to that were wide open.
Yeah,
so
he did.
It has been domination from start to finish. 30 seconds to go. Indians won't even need to snap the football again, I believe. Oh, there is a difference of about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So the quarterback, that's number 23, Gavin Jones, will take a knee. Indians in victory formation, and victory it will be. It's Madison Central knocking off George Rogers Clark, shutting out the Cardinals on the road in Winchester. A 49-0 dominant performance by the Indians. A pair of touchdown runs for Corinthian Barnes, 3 touchdown runs from Carson Herbst, and everybody else pitching in and doing their part. And, Coach, what a performance tonight on the road after that disappointing loss last week when they felt like they let one get away.
Yeah, I mean, you reveal a lot of character about your team the week after a loss. Everybody's doing great when you win. When you lose a tight game, that's the one you really worked all season for. They wanted Douglas. They wanted to get the district. So to see how they responded tonight tells me a lot about the senior leadership. I mean, coaches are always going to push for everybody to recover, get to the next game, but it's the ones that are in the locker room where the coaches aren't. It's the ones that are having the conversations that the coaches don't that affect that more than the staff ever will. So that just tells me a lot about the leadership that we've known these seniors are capable of and are doing with the young guys too.
Central with a big win, 49-0. They'll close out the home portion of the regular season schedule next week against Bryan Station in hopes of making sure they get at least one more home game. After that, it'll need a win to do just that next week. Indians Defenders next Friday. We'll have it for you here on WBON TV. For our producer, Gage Hill, and John Clark, I'm Michael Watkins. So glad to have you along with us, folks. Be safe if you're heading back to Richmond, and we'll see you next week on WBON TV and WEKY.